Hello everybody and welcome to another Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide randomizer run. This is a special event for y'all this evening. This is for Gaming for Hope, Gamers Against Suicide rather. This is going to be a marathon run submission race, and it's not just any kind of race. We're actually got a Super Bowl relay race. We'll get to that, what that means a little bit with our commentators here in just a second. My name is Sabre Wolf. I'll be the Restreamer and kind of the host of the event. I will be the host of the event coming up here in August. It'll be the first weekend of August. Not sure which date it will be because obviously this is a submission. The schedule hasn't been put out yet, but we will be hopefully doing the event later on in August. Little tidbit of information first about the Gamers Against Suicide Gaming for Hope event. It is going to be helping the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. 100% of the donations will be going to that cause. Established in 1987, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, or AFSP, is a volunteer health organization that gives those affected by suicide a nationwide community empowered by research, education, advocacy to take action against the leading cause of death. AFSP is dedicated to saving lives and bringing hope to those affected by suicide, including those who have experienced a loss. AFSP creates a culture that's smart and about mental health by engaging the following core strategies: funding scientific research, educating the public about mental health and suicide prevention, advocating for public policies and mental health and suicide prevention, and supporting survivors of suicide loss and those affected by suicide. Once again, that event will be coming up here the first weekend of August on the Gamers for Hope channel on their Twitch channel. And without further ado, I'll be turning it over to the commentators for this evening, Dweia and Engidave. Take it away.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I hope you guys are ready for a fantastic race. We have two teams here. We have Blackjack and Spicy Chicken featuring Cirrus Rose, Turdsman, Christopher Warkin, and Papa Shongo versus Dumpster Fire Entertainment, OneFreeFitz, Jexvrok, Cid, and DrinksGlue. Of course, I'm here in the booth with Engidave. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Dweia. Happy to be here commentating for this race, going towards a fantastic cause.
Absolutely. We did a relay like this back for Gamers for Hope, Gamers Against Cancer, and was a huge success. So very happy to be doing this again. So a little bit about the flag set that we're going to be rolling with tonight. It's the Super Bowl Relay, and this is a faster flag set than normal UL. Have you ever done Super Bowl Relay before?
I have. This was one of the feature flag sets in the multi-category tournament that ran a few months back.
Yes, it was. So you are fully aware of how fast this is going to go. Our runners are going to start with, they're going to be able to multi-summon. They're going to be able to go to really cheap shops. Everyone can equip everything. Everyone will have warps, so no looking for warp stones. We also have the X Zone Y Remove flags on, so they're going to be able to break a little bit of logic to really get through these seeds.
Right, now, one of the big uses of that is getting into some of the free checks, but I believe our free checks are off in this flag set.
They are.
Oh, but
yes.
Go ahead.
I was going to say Zen not included.
That said, you can still, if you need a few Espers at the end, why moving your way into Magitech still a fantastic option.
Absolutely. Now, on top of that, to really help our runners speed up, they start with all the tools. They start with all sword techs, all rages, all lures, all blitzes. We won't see any blue bubbles tonight, which is perfectly fine. We're going to go plenty fast without them. And this is definitely going to be a fun Kefka fight because the big godlike clown is scaled down. We will not probably see an Ultima counter. We're not going to see any really huge nasty moves from the different tiers. But these runners are really going to be able to whip the clown's butt.
Yeah, the seeds of this I played during the event. The Kefka climb will take about 3-4 minutes at most. It just is with how low it gets scaled, Kefka is about less than 1/3 the normal HP.
Right. So definitely going to see some speed here. Now, first leg of our run is going to feature Series Rose and Jexvrok. Both of these runners are incredible. Series is an incredibly fast runner, has taken the wooden medals several times in our Ultros Underground. And Jex is one of our leading Chaos Seed runners. And here we are off.
The first message we saw, there's something we didn't touch upon. Kefka Tower Skip. You get it from the start, so no having to walk through the tower.
Oh, that's true. That's really nice that they get to definitely start at those statues. Question in chat. Does calmness get scaled down? No, calmness is the same as it's always gonna be.
And calmness can still just decide to ruin your day if it wants to.
Exactly. So runners are still going to be looking for that calmness protection. Or maybe not, because everybody can equip everything. So if they happen to lose like one or two runners, the ones following up are going to be able to take down Kefka just fine.
That's true. Also, since everyone can equip everything, you've probably got some Ragnaroks or Illuminas on, so you'll have some physical evade.
Exactly. Do not be surprised if our racers happen to find it. Everybody having an Illumina.
We see some Megalurks being purchased. I think our red team runner did buy something in the armor shop, but is it Genji gloves for sale? You love to see that.
Genji gloves, economizers. Depending on what kind of physical offense they find, this may not be a magic heavy seed. But we're going to see them stocking up on the things that they do find. They start off with 10k GP, so all these little things that are really cheap in the shops, perfect things to get. Just to let everybody know, just because of technical difficulties, our wonderful Restreamer Sabre Wolf has let us know that Series is about 1 minute ahead just in the feed. So if it looks a little off, that is why. I'll tell you what though, Dave, so far these shops have not been super great, which is crazy for a Super Ball relay seed.
Usually you hit like 2 or 3 shops, you'll find your power. We did find the Genji gloves, which are nice. Ooh, yeah, that's how Figueroa's shop. That was a shop that existed.
I mean, we might just pretend that that shop doesn't exist because that had nothing in it. So let's talk a little bit about the unlock. Unlock for this, instead of the 6 characters, 9 Espers, is actually 5 characters, 6 Espers. So we're going to get our unlock a lot faster than normal too.
Correct, and in an ideal world, you get it on exactly 5 and 6 because of the scaled final Kefka that we were discussing.
Exactly. Ooh, that's an expensive glowing stone from the Zen Thief in World of Balance.
However, those hero rings for sale here, while they rolled a bit on the higher end of the price range, I would not mind grabbing a couple of those.
Oh, absolutely. Now, one of the things about the Zen Thief, especially if it's expensive, our runners are not going to have a whole lot of money. Because things are cheap in the shop, they're not going to sell for very much either. So, unless they find money in chests, it's going to be hard to hit that 60k Esper. So let's hope that World of Ruin is a little bit cheaper.
Speaking of money, somewhere our blue runner found a money chest because that was 46,000 GP.
Ooh, that's nice to have.
Yeah, hitting a big money chest like that in Super Bowl Relay, that just, you're off to the races after you find it.
For sure. All right. And you're going to be seeing this for probably each leg of the relay race. They're going to be checking all these shops just to try to find their offense. And once they find that, they're off to the races. No pun intended. So we have a Terra, Realm, and Celeste start. Where would you go first?
Esper Mountain. Or either Esper Mountain, or honestly, I'm a huge fan of the opening Owser's Mansion play. You get a few levels from the fights going in. And I think Realms checks are where to go here. With no free checks on, completing Sealed Gate, not a fan of it.
Yeah, they probably aren't going to be doing that. They're going to be finding their goodies elsewhere. So yeah, we probably are not going to find the end of Sealed Gate.
I like an Owser start with this party.
Yeah, Owser's Opera House is not bad. Pero in chat is saying Leet River, but we ignore Pero at this point.
You're talking to someone who's been burned more than once on an Opera House start, so
Yes, I think we've all been burned by some of the grind fight starts.
well, go in there, take a few grind fights, and then Magic Master shows up and goes, "Hi."
Exactly. Sid is saying in chat, just YOLO MTech. Well, Sid, I hope I see you do that. That's what I want to see. Put your money where your mouth is.
Even better, YOLO MTech without the Cell start.
Well, yeah, because with Y remove, we can break into these places that we normally wouldn't be able to break into. Things like Mount Zozo, although because it's a free check, we probably won't see it. We could break into MTech. I'm trying to think if there is another one that we could break into that would be worthwhile.
Those are the big ones I know.
Yeah, because we're not going to see anybody break into the weapon shop in World of Ruin Narsh, because again, free check. It's not going to give them what they want. We just saw Ceres Rose delete one of the bosses for the Zozo Town check, which is a Terra check. So you don't have to do that boss. It's really normally just in your way. With this Y remove on, Ceres was able to just skip right past it. Unfortunately, that does give up some of the XP that she could have gotten, but I bet she'll make it up in other ways.
Yeah, you can always fix XP later.
Exactly.
Plus, by getting that Esper, it scales the XP gains up.
It does. So, have you seen what skills our characters have? I don't think I was able to catch it.
No.
We'll
see when we get into combat.
Oh, there we go. Alright, so Ceres Rose on the red team is going to make an Owser's Mansion play.
Yeah, we found some Minervas for sale. Those must have been in the Narsh armor shop.
Probably, and yeah.
Yeah, I did see Ceres was down some money after that shop, but didn't see what was purchased. That had to have been the Minervas.
More than likely. Oh, an Atma weapon and a Thunder Shield. So we did see Jex break into the weapon shop to get that Atma weapon first off. And now, I know I just said that we probably wouldn't see it. However, they have not found really good weapons in shops, so that's not a terrible play.
No, it's not. However, what is terrible is that first fight in Owser's Mansion.
Ooh, what was it? I was watching Jex pick up the Curse Shield.
Level 20 and 40 magics.
Yeah, we're going to nope out of that.
Otherwise, notice how fast can I hit the warp button.
Exactly. And since they don't have to farm for warp stones or find those in shops, they are able to escape right away.
It looks like we have Sword Tech. Yes, we have Sword Tech. So we have access to Sword Tech 6. Sword Tech VP Rain Rage. That's a fantastic set of starting abilities.
Oh, absolutely. Especially because you start with everything. You get to see that Retainer Rage going off right there. That's going to be incredible. Especially with the hero rings that Ceres has picked up.
And then later on, we have access to Stray Cat.
Yes. Now, if only we find an offering to go with that.
I like the way you think.
I mean, I'm a big fan of offering. I'm a big fan of not being able to control my damage, even though it's burned me quite a bit. I like to just see the numbers fly.
Oh, I get it.
Alright, nice use of Cleave by Cerise. Taking out Leader, he is instant deathable. So that was a very quick fight, even though Realm did go down. Jex is still doing some shopping, which is perfectly reasonable. Sarah's picking up the armor to make sure that maybe that realm doesn't go down again.
I'm a bit concerned that on Jex's side we got realm dual wielding scimitars.
Well, that's just another way she can live up to her murder child name. Nice big money chest in World of Ruin South Figaro. And it looks like Jex is going up for a wealth check, perhaps.
And also very nice that XP egg in a box. Also, there's your offerings.
There's my offerings. All right, game one. All right, we have a Narapa. Narapa's another one that can be instant deathed, so that sword tech 8 will be very handy here. And Ragnaroks and fixed dice. You love to see it.
124 GP Ragnaroks. I'll take 8.
No kidding. We will be giving Ragnaroks away like Oprah. You get a Ragnarok, and you get a Ragnarok, and you get a Ragnarok. And that is a shadow for Jex. What's the chance you think that we'll see a floating continent play?
Non-zero, only because I'm fairly certain in one of the tournament races it was hard required.
Ooh, that's never fun. I always want it to be my choice to go to floating continent. I never want it to be pushed on me. All right, interesting. So, Sirius, I don't think, has found sleeping bags or tents, so she is using the inn to heal. Not a bad use of that, considering you want to save your money for the more important things.
And in this flag set, sleeping bags could very easily be $2,000 a piece.
That's really true. We're getting a Kefka at Narsh play from Jex. Very interesting. And based on that sprite, it's either going to be an Esper or an item.
And the nice thing about the no free characters Esper's flag is the other stuff tends to be more likely to have characters and Espers.
Exactly. You can kind of plan your route a little bit better. Oh, and that is a Gao in Esper Mountain. What would you like to see on that Gao? If this was you, what would you want to see on him?
We'll take a nice blitz.
All right. Well, you start off with all the blitzes, including Bum Rush, so that would be nice.
Second command, does he really need one? You've Bum Rush.
That's very true. You know, give me a Magitech Gao. I'll take a Magitech Gao.
Oh, that's a good choice, too.
I mean, Tech Missile, and then you also have your instant death already solved for Final Kefka. Magitech Gao for the win. Or Shock. Shock is nice, too.
Strange, I only have one ability.
Yeah, the thing about that shock though is, since we do have all the rages and we have retainer, then shock loses its value a little bit. However, it's not the worst ability that you could get.
Oh, and being able to push the red button on, say, a lane, so you could just have shock at 2 lanes.
2. I'm still hoping that we find some good big sticks, especially things to use with that offering. Give me a VK. We're getting a mountain climb by Cerise. Probably going to check their Welk gate. And their Kefka and Narsh as well. Finding their shadow. And that will give Cerise Rose her 5th character, so now we'll just be looking for Espers at that point.
This, I think, is where the Magitech play starts to look good, just because you can't get more characters out of the first 2.
Definitely. That is one thing I love about Y Remove. I love breaking into Magitech Factory. Now, obviously we don't have to do it right now because we have a Celis start. But those 2 first checks of Magitech are so valuable whenever you're really just looking for more Espers.
Since I mentioned that, where would you be going if you're just on an Esper hunt with these characters?
Well, if I was just on an Esper hunt, first to a Magitech for sure. I would probably head up to Tritalk spot, because that can only be an Esper item. And again, we've mentioned how since there's no free checks, more than likely the odds are in your favor of it actually being the Esper. And if we do happen to find enough money, I mean, there is still the Esper for Zen Thief. The one in World of Ruin was a lot cheaper, in fact, about a half cheaper.
Again, by my count, that's 6.
That would be 6.
I know it's
assuming we don't get really unlucky with these.
I know that we're not supposed to be doing math on stream, so let me double check.
I mean, I will let you cover all the math on stream. I can't even count numbers on Final Kefka whenever I'm playing, so have fun doing the math. All right. Okay, yeah, Sid, let's see how the YOLO will go. I might be eating my words.
All right, if we had YOLO this with a level 3 party, we would have seen. That's not awful.
Hey, there's worse things. And our runners are pretty much neck and neck right now, doing the same fight. One taking advantage of Gao's shock, the other one taking advantage of that retainer rage, it looks like. Or not retainer rage, stunner. Sword tech stunner.
And we see those Ragnaroks just tear through Atma Weapon. And yeah, the sword tech on Jexvrok also just tearing this thing apart.
Absolutely, and almost simultaneous Atma Weapon takedowns. Love to see it. And we get Zone Seek. So, let me ask you this. Okay, except for like Golem, Fenrir, and Siren, which we know why those are so important. What's your favorite Esper?
I'm gonna have to go with Crusader just because it's hilarious when a Magicite or Slots pulls it out.
Well, Sabre can tell his Crusader stories. All right, chat. You're already on it. I was going to ask you too. What is your favorite Esper out there? It's like the chat reads my mind. I love it.
Yeah,
All
we got
right,
a Bahamut, we got a big old whale.
Yep. And we have Torado from the Scare Force. All right. So, Cerise Rose is at 5-4. Jex will be at 4-3. So we're just looking for a few more pieces to this puzzle, and we will be ready to go to Final Kefka.
I like this play from Cerise here, because you can peek this check.
You can. I think this is the one of two checks where the sprite at the end will actually really tell you what it is. If it's an Esper, it's an Esper. If it's a generic sprite, it's an item. Or if it's a character sprite, it's a character. The only other one that I think does this is Mount Zozo, which we are not going to probably see. Now, to answer my own question, I'm actually a big Torado fan. I like
Also
the
a
big
great
Earth
choice.
Snake. Yeah.
And we're gonna
Okay,
take the
that's
Setzer.
Setzer. So there's a little bit of logic to this, because even though the Kefka Tower unlock is 5-6, you still have to go through the lanes. And with only 5 characters, that means there's one person that's going to solo a lane. And in this flag set, that's easier than say, a normal flag set. But you probably still want that backup character.
That's fair. We do see on the blue side, we're finishing out Magitech, which makes sense since you're still on a character hunt.
Exactly. Fitz pointing out in chat that Setzer has 2 really good quick checks. Now, Calling Gen is a free check, so we're not going to probably see that. But Search the Skies and Daryl's Tomb, one of my favorite checks, are perfectly valid and will probably benefit them quite a bit.
Now we see the power of Cat Scratch and double Ragnarok's already. That realm is definitely earning her a Murder Child title. Which way is this shot going?
Well, thankfully it went towards the enemy, because that gal is a zombie.
Oh no, those are Cat Scratches with dice, not with Ragnaroks.
Okay, did he find the offerings? Because that would be a wonderful combination.
Yes, offerings were for sale in Ruined South Figaro.
Yes, but did Jex find them?
No. Oh!
Did we not pet the dog? No dog
No!
pet?
Why remove the dog?
Well, alright.
I
So
saw the
unfortunately we
dog.
have to... Was that 1 billion GP to stay in the inn? Oh my goodness. If you
Yes,
don't have Strago... Yeah.
This inn is being run by Dr. Evil.
Alright. Well, so we have to add like 20 minutes time to Team Red.
And I'm Magic Master.
Oh, we have Berserk? It's okay. Magimaster will be a complete kitten.
Also, at the end of Magitech was a Yeti.
Was a Yeti. I believe Yeti was not a character. Now, it could still be an item. But again, we're going to kind of hope that since it's not a free check, it will be more beneficial to us.
I may have misspoke there. The character at the end of Magitech is Yeti.
Yes, that's what... Yes. That is what you said.
Okay.
Oh, Sid, no, it's fine. Just full MTech. You do that, man. I'm looking forward to it. Alright, so, in case you are just tuning in, this is going to be a relay race. So right now we're about in the middle. We're almost about ready to get our Kefka unlock, especially on Cirrus Rose's side. Our next runners that we're going to be coming in, for the red team, it will be Turdsman. And for the blue team, it will be our very own OneFreeFitz that is in chat with us right now. And so is Turdsman. I didn't mean to leave you out there, buddy. And that is unlock for Cirrus Rose, I believe.
We're one short.
Oh, are we still one short?
Okay. All right, do it, check. Say you're not going to take Ragnarok away from us.
Oh, come on, let's see it. We're not even getting a peek of it. We're just gonna go. Let's go, let's go.
We know it's an Esper or an item. We didn't see a character down there.
That's true. Which Cerise does not want to see the character, but blind checking Mobliz.
I will mention that with this flag set, the fact that there are no free checks on, and also there are no Espers in the auction house, that greatly increases the chance of Espers and characters being at boss fights.
Exactly. Alright, Jex is going up the mountain. He's going to be following that Yeti path, along with taking a dragon, doing the Tri-Talk check. Not against this play at all.
I am against what we ran into here in Mobliz.
I mean,
okay,
it's not terrible. But what did we get for it? Oh, now we have our unlock. All right. You know, whenever I asked my Esper question, I completely forgot about Unicorn. Unicorn is a wonderful Esper.
And here in Nourish, you fought Atmo Weapon, now fight the other Atmo.
Oh, he's also just a big pussycat. He's angry he got put in the toilet.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
We have Sabre serenading us in the background. And that is Atma down. And just a reminder... Oh, go ahead.
You got it.
All right, and just a reminder, Cirrus Rose does have a 1-minute stream lead, just because of some technical issues that were at the beginning of the race. And while we're fighting this Guardian, once again, this is our Gamers for Hope, Gamers Against Suicide Marathon submission that's going to be going on. There's not a set time for it yet, but probably around August. Sabre can come in and tell me if I'm guessing wrong on that. Great cause. And it's fun to use this game, because anybody that has played the vanilla game knows that this game is centered around loss in a lot of ways. And it does have that very poignant scene after the world ends with Celeste and the leap of faith from the cliff. This game is a wonderful representation of coming through with hope, which is so important for this kind of topic. So the Gaming for Hope, Gaming Against Suicide, this is an absolute honor to be able to do a submission for and to be involved with. We don't got to save Cid at all.
No.
But those are options. We do have bidding options out there for Save Kill Cid. We also have a bidding option for Singing in the Opera. That one, however, only one member of the team has to do that. Not every single member of the team has to sing opera, because that would be a little ridiculous, and like that'll take 20 minutes to do all of them.
It'd be
but it is
wonderful,
right? But it is so we are gonna. So that is a bidding opportunity that will be available for the actual event. We're not gonna do it for the submission, but if you out there want to bid on it for extra money for the cause, one of our runners from each team has to do the Save Cid or the Opera House.
But I just want to point out that Cid telling us that we got to save Cid is a biased opinion.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. I think Cid has to be recused from the Save Cid debate.
All right, and we get our first Ultros fight. Our mascot for Worlds Collide, seeing as Ultros League is our big main event and our league event. So always good to see the big purple octopus show up.
Well, not like this. Not when the big purple octopus brings its big sneezy friend.
Well, that's true. Perry in chat putting in the wonderful Ultros emote that I absolutely love. And Jex needs one more Esper for his unlock while Cerise Rose is getting ready to do her fourth and final statue fight.
There we go. Jex was just attempting to raise 34 large to bribe his way into Kefka.
That works. All right, and that is a Daddy Loomer in the final boss gauntlet of KT.
This realm is something equipped with an offering.
All right, since Cerise Rose get to... What is that realm equipped with? Or is it actually barehanded?
Your guess is as good as mine.
I believe it's a fixed dice offering Stray Cat, but it's not really rolling.
No,
yeah,
it is
I'm
not.
Having a hard time believe that's fixed dice because those numbers are way too low for Also, I think at least one of those rolls was prime.
Yeah, she's just punching. Interesting.
Yeah, that's an odd number. That can't be fixed dice.
I'm saying that's what it's supposed to be. I don't know what's going on with it though.
I am guessing she might have taken them off, possibly to give to that Setzer.
Probably got auto-equipped or something.
Maybe. And we've got Celis on Jex's side soloing Guardian. You never really want to solo Guardian. He can still be a chonky boss.
Oh, that was a Ragnarok. Okay.
Oh yeah, a Ragnarok with offering. That is probably the result of an optimize on the equip pool.
Yep.
All right, and we've got Cerise Rose on switches at 34-23. And a reminder that next up will be Turdsman on the red team with OneFreeFitz on the blue team.
So normally this Kefka fight, uh, there's a bunch of there's a bunch of big phases. We're not going to be seeing that here.
Yeah, and we're probably not going to be seeing the normal order of operations on the tiers. That is a reset from Jex, thanks to a level 4 flare. Not a math test you normally fail to, but quite unfortunate whenever you have a solo in a lane.
And unfortunately, with 5 characters split 3 ways, you don't have a choice in the matter.
Very true. It looks like he's definitely going to be changing up his lanes a little bit to accommodate for that. In the meantime, we've got Sirius on tier 1 of Final Kefka. That is a very dead Terra, thanks to that Merton. And we've got a raid from Poot Scooty. Welcome in. Welcome in and enjoy this nice relay race for our marathon Gaming for Hope Gamers Against Suicide.
And just like that, tier 1 is down.
Nice. Oh, that is a Moogle Charm Forget by Jex. Unless he did it on purpose to try to get past level 4.
I'm thinking that's I want to gain a level.
That quite could possibly be it. Alright, so here we go on tier 2. Thankfully with this flag set, we have all of our sword techs as we've seen throughout. Cleave is going to take care of tools in the middle. Not too sure if we found Mute, but I don't think this tier is going to last long enough for it to really matter.
No, that's going to be hit Tiger down on this. That might be all of them down.
Ooh, well, definitely hit for sure, yeah. And thanks to a scaled Final Kefka and probably some pretty good armor, 10 hits is not going to be anywhere near as deadly as it normally could be.
Quarter does not get scaled.
No, Quarter's going to do what Quarter does. Alright, Jack's still taking some grind fights here. I am very curious about what his strategy is, unless he just keeps landing on multiple of 4 levels somehow.
It was more just the first few grind fights gave no XP.
Ah, okay. That would explain it.
I think it was some of the Mount Colt's enemies.
Oh, yeah, that would explain why. Oh, but this Guardian is not being kind at all. Starting out with the launcher. Thankfully, Empower is like a free elixir. So not a big deal there. And Cerise Rose is on tier 3.
That second shock is going to take down Girl in the back.
Oh, and here's a move that you never usually see from tier 3 is a nice rage.
Yep, that's what Meteor got scaled to.
Exactly. Now, normally you'd be counting damage and you'd know how much each of these boss tiers have. With a scaled Kefka, that's a little harder to do. And calmness, as we said before, is still calmness. As we see that Terra go down, not going to be performing in tier 4.
Now, the good news about scaled bosses, if you push Kefka too far, you don't get ultimate.
No, in fact, I think that is also probably going to see a rage move as well. Tier 4 is for earners. Exactly, you have to earn your place to fight this god.
And Jex is through the Guardian. Celis, with some help from Umaru's throws, gets through it.
I mean, Amaro's a great guy. He's just here to help out. And that is a landslide from Final Kefka. Again, we're going to be seeing some stuff on this final tier that you normally don't see at all.
At Flare leads me to believe Kefka's almost finished.
Yep, and here's our Goner phase. So Cerise Rose is going to unleash all the damage that she possibly can. And, well, those shadows sure didn't help.
And with that, Cerise Rose is finished.
All right, and that is going to be Turdsman coming in for round 2. GG, Cerise Rose. And let's see here. We know we're going to have an Edgar start on the 2nd seed. Edgar, Setzer, and Locke. Great lineup. All right, I'm going to see if I can get Cerise in for a quick interview. In the meantime, we're going to be seeing Turdsman going and doing some looting through South Figaro. Again, we're in the same flag set, so we're going to see a lot of the same pathing as far as the beginning loot route goes, probably.
Yeah, get a little bit of loot, do your shopping. Hopefully you find power in those shops.
I mean, really, I'm hoping these shops are a lot better than our last game.
It's a very low bar
you,
you're setting.
I mean, I know, but I was disappointed that we didn't see, you know, some fantastic eggs, very cheap eggs, or anything like that. And we've got Cerise here in the booth for you. GG's.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it was a weird one.
Yeah, we were kind of just talking about how the shops weren't as lucrative as they sometimes normally are.
Yeah, I was happy to find those Ragnaroks at least, but if you saw me picking up some random stuff like Pearl Lances and Man-Eaters and stuff, that was mostly if I don't find anything better, I don't really want to be stuck with nothing.
That makes perfect sense.
Exactly. That's some good forethought there.
And then, yeah, as soon as I got the Ragnaroks, my goal was to menu as little as possible. Didn't really care what any Espers had. Should have menued a little bit more to make sure that Terra had a Minerva and that Realm did not have a Ragnarok instead of fixed dice for that rage on the right statue.
Yeah, we were definitely questioning that. We were like, what is going on?
Yeah,
my plan was a lot better than what happened.
Yeah, we had assumed that there was a auto-equip that happened.
Yeah, that's one problem with having all those Ragnaroks. And it was against Dataluma too, so if I had just attacked normally with the Ragnarok, I'd probably be fine. And then Kefka decided to use the slowest spell animations possible. But were it not for my mistakes, I probably would have gotten sub 40, which I'm happy about. I don't know what approach my opponent took.
Very similar. I mean, you both kind of had trouble, like, really finding the offense that I think most people are used to finding in this flag set.
Yeah, I don't believe we saw Jex go to. I don't believe Jex found the Ragnarok shop.
Yeah, he did find an Atma though, so that helps.
Yeah, I don't remember why I decided to check one more shop at that point. I think it was because I was hoping that Jador could be my last shop, but I didn't really find anything good there. I definitely appreciate it. In some of my practice seeds, I've looted a lot more, But once you have like 20 items, I find your time is a lot better spent just looking for a better shop.
For sure.
And you usually have enough stuff at that point that you can sell. You can sell all those lousy Phoenix Downs you started with. Also, shout out to that hide-in that had me terrified I was going to lose like 10 minutes because I hadn't saved in a while.
Yeah, your shock went on the right person and not on your own party, which was very convenient.
Yeah, I was going to throw up when I saw that shock casting after the zombie, but it's all good. So routing fairly similar? Did it get weird?
Jex finished out Magitech and found a Yeti at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was one of the really big differences. He also went up Tritalk. He did the Dragon, Tritalk, and Yeti check. So there was definitely some divergence there.
Yeah. Did anyone get mad at me for why removing the dog? I did pet the dog first.
We definitely commented on that, yes. We actually added 20 minutes to your time just for that, just so you know.
Well, it's a good thing I did well then.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so big question. We're doing the Gaming for Hope, Gamers Against Suicide, the submission for that. What does that mean to you? This is kind of a personal question, and I understand that, so if you don't want to share, but does that hit personally for you, that you would really want to participate in this?
Yeah, I mean, it's not something that, has... It's something that... I'm trying to figure out the best way to word this. I guess maybe for the official stream I could do something different. But even though it hasn't happened to anyone in my life, it's been a factor in a lot of people's lives that are close to me. And so, who've really benefited a lot from having resources that were out there. So I'm always a fan of getting more stuff out there for people. And I'll work on my spiel for the future.
I mean, your spiel is just fine. It's just fine.
It's a relay spiel after all.
It is a relay spiel. All right, so your opponent, Jex, is right now on tier 2. So gonna be finishing up his final Kefka probably in the next 3 or 4 minutes. And he will be followed up by a OneFreeFitz.
The nice thing about finishing first is I actually get to watch what's going on.
You do get to watch. And your teammate Turdsman is off to a great start, taking a little bit of a grind fight here in South Figaro Cave, which is one of Locke's checks. Oh, no, this is the Edgar check. I am sorry. He is in World of Ruin.
I didn't catch either because the cave looks exactly the same.
Exactly. It looks like we possibly have tier 2 down for Jex, unless there's another part of it still alive. I cannot tell right at this moment.
I was actually considering, because there were starting to be not a lot of great options for Espers, I was considering just Y removing into this Edgar check. That's another one you can get access to without him.
That is true.
But it's nice to get stuff the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, we talked a lot about Y removing into Magitech, but you guys had to sell a start, so it was kind of a moot point at that. Alright, we do see a Flare Star come out on tier 3. Probably what would normally be Merton. And we've got Yeti and Spaghetti on Turdsman's side for the red team. Not quite getting him down before the green cherry goes off, but that's okay. Yeti at this level is probably not going to be too big of a of a threat. And we've got a train coming out for Jex on tier 3.
I think that's another one to be not. Oh, that is rude.
Oh,
Wow.
And with these levels and the scaled Kefka, it's not going to be the worst, but you hate to see the double calmness.
yeah,
Yeah,
that is
one thing I'll
really
add
unfortunate.
before I leave, and then you don't have to worry about me interrupting you anymore, is in this flag set, I just don't plan on dodging calmness and try to make sure that everybody who's left can do the job. So hopefully we still have some good people.
Well, absolutely. Now, because that was one of the things we brought up too, it's like even if you lose 1 or 2 people to calmness, your characters are generally so overpowered for a scaled Kefka that it's not really a big deal.
The only reason it can take long is if he counters with the slowest animations in the game. But you're not really in much danger.
And we will be having OneFreeFitz coming in for Jex. Yeah, and remember, there is a 1-minute delay here, so Jex has actually finished his run, even though on our screens we are still seeing him fight Kefka.
And as Chad used to Chad's point out, the best calmness protects you have 3 people who can do the job.
Exactly. All right. And we have Jex in the booth. Hey, Jex, how you feeling about that?
Oh, I mean, like it went slightly better than the practice seed, but not by much.
I feel like you naming your team Dumpster Fire Entertainment was kind of a premonition, because that Kefka Tower was kind of a dumpster fire with that Guardian.
Yeah, I was not expecting the level 4 flare, let alone, it killing Celeste flat out. And yeah. So then I had to redo that battle. At least, I safety saved before I jumped into KT. So not so bad.
Yeah. Not saving in this and losing a lot of time is always kind of the worst feeling.
Yes. Definitely agreed upon that.
So, what are your opinions on this flag set as a whole? Is it one that you like, one that you don't like?
Normally the seed is a bit more smashy face than this, and I am fine with smashy face seeds. Just that the two seeds in a row, I couldn't find solid full party offense, which was irritating. I mean, like my best weapons was what, an Atma and a fixed dice that I found in a box, or a dead check.
Well, go ahead, Dave.
Your opponent did find the offense.
Yeah.
Ruined South Figaro.
Whoa. Sorry to interrupt. Perspective offense, offerings and experience eggs for Fitz there.
Oh man,
Nice.
yeah. For our runners right now, as Sabre said, Fitz has found offerings and experience eggs, while Turdsman has found experience eggs and I think 2 Valiant Knives now. So if he finds those offerings, that's going to be one heck of a killer.
Yeah, don't need much more than that.
Exactly. All right, Jack. So one of the questions that I asked Cirrus, and I'll probably ask anybody that comes into this interview, since we're doing this, for the Gamers Against Suicide, kind of a more personal question, and if you don't want to answer, you don't have to. Does this event hit you personally? Have you had to experience a loss like that, or, what is it that really makes you want to do this event?
So that has hit me personally multiple times. So yeah, I see the benefit of doing this for the crowds. I'm not going into details on any other
absolutely.
circumstances.
No. Don't.
But,
I don't want you to do that.
Yeah. But rest assured, I've had multiple friends or acquaintances go down that dark path and didn't find a way out.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely a heavy topic, which is why this event is so great, because it does provide funding for the necessary resources for people that are struggling.
Which is good.
Exactly. And honestly, you are very, very much appreciated for participating and just helping out in whatever way you can.
Yep, not a problem. It's my pleasure.
All right. So, is there anything you want to add? Anything you kind of want to push? Any plugs you want to make?
Should I do the spiel?
You can do the spiel.
All right, the spiel. Anybody here that is new to Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide and would love to learn this lovely randomizer and get involved with an awesome community, please join us. There's a link to our Discord in FF6WorldsCollide.com. There's a link to our Discord. We also have a Moogle Cup and Moogle Mentor training programs to help you learn this randomizer. So also, please give our Restream team and our followers, or runners, a follow. Yes, please, the followers too. Why not follow the followers? Anyways, GG's, and thanks for tuning in, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of the race.
All right. Hope you join us in chat and cheer on everybody if you can.
Thank you for racing in this event.
Yep, thanks for having me. GG's.
GG's. All right, Mr. Dave, you want to get us kind of caught up on what's been going on?
We've been all over the place. Turdsman has found a shadow. I know I saw Fitz get find offerings, XP eggs for sale. The shops, the weapon shops again. Who has rolled these seeds and where are they hiding the weapons?
Listen, I can tell you who rolled the seeds, but I'm pretty sure I'll be kicked off the Restream team at this point, because it was me.
Ah, well done. I approve.
Listen, I don't even like rolling seeds for myself.
Hey, are you not entertained?
Yes, exactly. We are very entertained. All right, that is a golem on Turdsman's side, along with a dog pet. So I think that kind of counteracts Cerise Rose why removing the dog.
It wasn't even just Y remove, it was Y X zone, so there was some extra spite in it.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, the reason why we went with the X zone removal for this event is that a lot of the players or viewers out there who are not going to be familiar with FF6 Worlds Collide or just FF6 in general, that was a way to indicate to the viewers on screen that the runner was actually using a Y remove function. So it just pauses the game for a quick second to kind of make a flash effect, so that to let the people watching to know what they were doing.
Ah, that actually makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that I would have never thought about that, but that's pretty good.
And also another interesting feature that I added onto this was that for all the characters to start with warp, for two reasons. One, it made it enabled that you don't have to start with warp stones or worry about buying warp stones, and second of all, that enables you to have MP immediately, so that way you can take advantage of Ragnarok's and Illuminus as soon as you start the run.
Sabre, you're pretty smart.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that second.
Shucks.
I hadn't thought about the starting with MP.
Yeah, no, that's some big brain moves there. We appreciate you making this flag set.
Yeah. This is why you get the big bucks.
Exactly.
Yeah, them big buckaroos. Which, by the way, any commercials or donations that we get for the Worlds Collide feed from this, we actually don't keep that money. 100% of that goes back into the marathon events and such that we participate in. So all the monies that our community raises, stuff like that, individually within our own channels in other formats like YouTube, all that money goes directly back into the community to events like this.
And one of the great things about this community is the events that we do. Things like these fundraisers. Again, I mentioned the Gamers Against Cancer. We just recently had the Final Fantasy Randomizer fundraiser for the Liam Foundation, I believe it was. Along with all of just the fun events that we do normally, our Ultras League, our Moogle Cup, we have a War of the Magi tournament, Seed of the Week, Living Seed. The nice thing about this randomizer is you can pretty much do anything, and with this community, it is a fantastic group of people that come up with some really clever events that are quite a lot of fun and keep the game fresh and new. All right, on Turdsman's side, I believe we're seeing the South Figaro lock check, since he's already done the World of Ruin South Figaro cave. While OneFreeFitz is here in the tomb. Looks like he's going to be taking a grind fight, and oh god, that is a nasty grind fight.
Not grinding on these, though.
Oh, no, we're going to grind on these, apparently.
I want a refund on this grind fight.
Maybe looking for MP to learn spells? I'm not sure. But no, that Moogle Charm is going right back on. Alright, so right now we're sitting at 4 characters, 3 Espers on Turdsman's side, and 3 characters, 1 Esper on Fitz's side. That is a Goddess, which I believe we've already seen on Turdsman's side, and that is a Cyan coming in on, yeah, from the cave.
That Cyan can pilot the airship.
Yeah, probably.
With all the power in this flag set, controlling it.
Alright, so we see the love token come out on Goddess. Now, thankfully, Locke has an offering, and the offering ignores the love token, so we don't even have to worry about that necessarily. Alright, so again, this is our Super Bowl relay flag sets. Just a reminder, there are no free checks, meaning things like Gao's Dad House is going to be an item. There is not going to be any free progression. Multi-summon is on. There are no undead bosses. Cheap shops, scaled Kefka, everyone with warp, which we mentioned. A 100% equip pool for all of our characters. The X-Zone Y remove, again something that we mentioned. They also get all tools, all sword tech, all rages, all lures, all blitzes, and no ultima.
If we give the characters, we give the runners all the power they're going to need and let them loose on a seed.
And we've already seen how good some of those shops can be. Unfortunately, this Goddess fight for OneFreeFitz is just not going well.
Yeah, I want to ask Fitz later if he realized that all the blitzes are unlocked.
He did say he was not going to be doing an interview, but that is a great desperation attack.
Yeah, Locke decides he's had enough of this.
Yeah, I would be doing that too if I was Locke. He'd be like, nope, I'm done. And we get that Carbuncle Esper for the reward.
And about 13 levels on the survivors, so that's going to jumpstart. That's going to catapult this party.
Yeah, unfortunately, that Edgar is just going to be sitting there at level 4 for a while, at least until the next fight. Oh, that is a Terra at Kefka at Narsh. Now we don't need another character necessarily. However, Terra does open up quite a few checks. A reminder that our unlock is 5 characters, 6 Espers, and KT Skip has already been given to them at the start of the seed.
Given what I've seen Fitz do, I'm fairly certain this is the dive down to Figaro Castle is at the very least. Wait, no, it's not true because you get signed from here.
Yeah. Which might give us some divergence because Turdsman found Cyan much later, so his checks aren't as valuable. Fitz, on the other hand, we might actually see a dream play because this Cyan is his first character that he's gotten.
Yeah, at 4-2, the dream play feels a lot better.
Yeah. Which brings up a question. Okay, so for the first leg of the race, I asked, what is the favorite Esper? So now I'm going to ask you, what is your favorite check to do?
Oh, putting me on the spot here, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. It's my job. And chat, feel free to answer that question too. What are your favorite checks in the game?
I mean, if I could jump in, probably my favorite one to do would be Ozer's Mansion, because it gives you a bunch of grind fights that are completely controllable. Plus, it's in a town that you can do shopping in, and you get a boss fight at the end for a reward. So I'd say probably Ozer's Mansion is probably my favorite one to do because you get a lot of resources from it.
I've been hitting this a little bit more times when it seems to come up, but I've been coming around the floating continent a little more.
Okay. Hey, that's not a bad one. 2 pieces of free progression is never anything to scoff at.
And if your XP is a little suspect, it's not suspect afterwards.
That's very true. Lots of boss fights and lots of fixed encounters to really get your XP up there. Mine is Dream. I will come out and say that mine is the Cyan Nightmare. All right, so I haven't really seen what our Espers are looking like. We talk about finding the physical offense in the shops. We haven't really talked about some of the good stat bumps that the Espers can give. Have you noticed anything like really, coming out at you?
I haven't seen any of the big +2s show up.
Yeah, I haven't really either.
Seeing all the VKs at HP Hundo Esper would be fantastic.
Oh, listen, that is one of my favorite stat bonuses to find. Give me that, a strength, and a speed, and I'm good for the rest of the game. Speaking of good Espers, we have a Bahamut Esper hiding in Mobliz, protecting all those orphan children.
Or you can get the Chaos Seed where it claims there's 80% stat boost on Espers, and you manage to find everyone in the 20% group.
Oh man. See, I don't play Chaos Seeds. Chaos Seeds actually scare me a little bit. I'm intimidated by all the different things that can come from that. All right, so on OneFreeFitz' side, we have a MTech logic break here. We do not have a Celeste character. This is kind of what we were talking about, using that Y remove to break into the MTech. Probably gonna see... I don't know if Fitz is gonna do the whole thing or just do MTech 1 and 2 and warp out. What do you think?
I think this is a 1-2 and leave, because you're out of logic, so you don't know where in the character progression that Celis is.
Yeah. But at the same time, MTech 3 is guaranteed progressions, so no matter what, you're going to get something you need. Man, that's a hard one. I don't know if what I would do in this.
Not to mention with the stack of XP eggs that they have, they can get a lot of levels off the minecart.
Ah, that's a very good point. Sabre Wolf bringing up that could be a great XP play.
I do like the random god voice in the background coming through and putting in little tidbits. Thank you, Sabre.
You're welcome.
All right, so we've got a Bahamut Esper from Mobliz. All right, so we are at 6-5 for Turdsman, and we are at 4-3 for OneFreeFitz.
And Turdsman going to make the Tritalk play.
I like this. Not only can you hit a dragon, you can do a check that is only going to be an Esper item. Again, we've already hit on the fact that since there is no free progression on, the odds of getting an Esper from an Esper item only check has been greatly increased.
Right, because all those dead checks got to go somewhere, and they went into the free pool.
Question in chat: how do we know that the backside of MTech Factory is guaranteed progression? There are a few checks in the game. MTech 3, Floating Continent 1 and 3, and Cyan's Dream 2.
And the tower.
Yeah, and Fanatic's Tower. There are certain checks in the game that have been coded to always be progression of some kind, either a character or an Esper, mainly due to the length of the check, so that you're guaranteed a reward. And MTech 3 just happens to be, like I said, one of those that will guaranteed be an Esper an item. And we did see Fitz warp out, and now we're going to be seeing, it looks like, Cyan's a Doma Dream play, yes.
Okay. I like this play 4-5.
I mean, like I said, Doma Dream is one of my favorite checks. As far as the longer checks go, it is relatively quick. You get 2 boss fights, 3 chances for progression, and it just looks kind of cool. Exactly. Cerise Rose in chat, kind of echoing what we said earlier about if there's no free progression, the checks that can have progression are less likely to have an item.
Speaking of the math test we had earlier, here's another math test coming out.
And we aced it, which is always something you want to see. And this VK lock is probably going to make quick work of Doomgaze.
Have Fitz successfully doing math on stream.
All right, eggs, offerings, muscle belts. This is everything that you could possibly want for a VK seed.
This was the shop Fitz had found earlier.
Oh. You know, why can't I find shops like this in a normal seed, right? Just give it all to me right there.
Not betting on Allbrook enough?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I really like playing this in the tournament. I liked this shop because it's 3 easily accessed shops. Also, that's going to be go mode once Fitz is out of the dream.
All right. So go mode. We've got go mode for Turdsman, and like you said, yeah, go mode for Fitz once he's out of the dream.
That was a Moogle.
Hey, you know, we love seeing Moogles.
In fact, we host the whole event based around them.
We do. It's an event that is near and dear to my heart, our Moogle Cup. which features a beginner-friendly flag set where you get paired with a mentor that will kind of be in your back pocket to help you out, learn some routing, learn some strategies, little tips and tricks that veteran runners have picked up along the way. Always a fun way to learn the game, make some great friends, and really just have a good time. Thank you, Glue, for putting that in the chat. I'll slide you the 20 later.
Wait a minute, I thought you were his deputy.
We trade that $20 back and forth. He gives it to me, I give it back to him. Every once in a while it goes to Sigil, who is another part of the Moogle Cup team. Alright, and just a reminder, this is a relay race. So, for Red Team, the next runner, once Turdsman beats Final Kefka, will be Christopher Warkin, while on the blue team, after OneFreeFitz does the same and gets that crack pow, will be ShadowCid, who has already promised that he is going to YOLO MTech all the way.
Which means I'm going to operate on the assumption that you have rolled a starting Celis.
You
Well,
know,
they don't
more
know.
than likely, sure.
Well, there's Y removed, so it doesn't matter, so...
Exactly, it is. And I have in chat that you said that you'd do it, so now you have to do it. Alright, and there is our unlock for OneFreeFitz. He's going to be heading to Kefka's tower to start his statue fights. Again, skip has already been given to them, so they do not have to do a full tower climb. They just have to start at the statue bosses.
Which we saw on Turdsman's side starts with a Chatternook.
Chatternook, Batternook. Definitely not a fun enemy to see, especially with only 2 characters. Really, he's just kind of annoying.
You'd think it's just a painting. How bad can it be?
I mean, have you met Realm?
I say Realm makes really good paintings.
Have you met Realm? Oh, you know, speaking of paintings, one of the things that we have going on right now in our Discord was a drawing for a painting done by one of our very own members, Nobody War, who has kind of taken up some art, and he is doing the Ultros at the opera scene.
I saw that. That's some fantastic artwork.
I mean, I put in my submission for it. Ooh, and that's a Magimaster at a statue spot.
We don't have Berserk, but we do have other ways to get around Magimaster's nonsense.
Exactly. That VK offering, dice, pretty much anything that is going to get past the physical defense and that will always hit.
Yeah, because Magimaster comes equipped with approximately all of the defense and evasion.
Yeah. Now, fortunately, in almost every Worlds Collide flag set, preset flag set, his ultimate attack at the very end has been turned off, so there's no risk of killing this guy and getting a big blue bubble to the face.
Just a stats thing, just real quick, y'all. Blue team has caught up by several minutes, not to mention blue team's lock here is doing an enormously amount more damage than red team's is.
That is a very good point from Sabre. Because of that big damage output by lock, this race is going to be very quick and very close.
This treasure hunter is on a mission.
He is. I'm glad that you used the term treasure hunter and not thief. We know Locke gets a little sensitive about that.
I'm not going to assault a guy that's doing 4,000 to swing.
I mean, that's pretty smart. You are a smart man. You know, we think that Locke is angry because the Empire killed Rachel in the vanilla game. No, I think he's probably angry because they call him a thief. Alright, we have tentacles in the tower. I believe this is Turdsman's last statue fight.
That it is.
So we're going to see some switches pretty soon on Turdsman's side. Again, remember there is a quester for Warkin coming in for red team after Turdsman hits the crack pow, and a ShadowCid coming in for OneFreeFitz on the blue team.
To answer your question, Chad, boss scaling is our bosses are scaled based on the number of characters, espers, and dragons we've slain. Or characters we find espers and dragons we've slain. Let's not confuse myself anymore. So in this case, at 5/6, everything will be level 22-ish, and in this flag set, includes final Kefka.
Yeah, normally the final boss of the game, Final Kefka, is not scaled. He is kept at his normal level of 62? I think somebody in chat can correct me on that one. But in this flag set, like Dave said, he has been scaled down like everything else. So that is why you will see different moves. We won't see the Meteo necessarily. We won't see the Ultima counters. He's been dumbed down quite a bit.
These tentacles giving Fitz the business.
Ooh, so solo tentacle fight is really nasty. And this is why.
Yeah, that's the second time Edgar's been grabbed. Fortunately, it was C's at Poison Frog and not the other way around.
I don't know. I bet he would have rather had the Poison Frog, just so he could get through this faster.
Well, I meant in the other order.
Ah, very true. Yes, yes. All right, but that is tentacles down for Edgar. I believe that is the last statue fight for OneFreeFitz, so we're going to be seeing him on switches here any moment. Meanwhile, Turdsman has made quick work of Tier 1 of Final Kefka, heading up to Tier 2. I believe I saw Mute in this seed. So unlike our first run, this tier will go a little bit faster because they can deal with magic. Magic can be muted to pretty much negate any attack that it does. The red figure in the middle, Tools, can be instant deathed. So if they have X-Zone, which you're going to see right now, that can take out that. Tiger is weak to ice, so any ice spells we use will be very effective. And Hit is just a big guy that's going to hit really hard, but not whenever it's scaled down.
And unfortunately for Hit, physical attacks are proportional level squared, and when we cut your level down to a third of what it was, well, you do 1/9 the damage.
Exactly. Oh, my fault. OneFreeFitz still has his Chatternook fight. And Turdsman not having a great luck with that X-Zone accuracy.
Elfire, was that Tiger?
Yeah, I
It
think
might have been
it was.
Southern Cross.
Exactly. Since, again, because it's scaled down and we're seeing different abilities, that Elf Fire was probably the Southern Cross move that normally is pretty detrimental. All right, we see 10 hits coming out. And we get through it just fine, and that is tier 2 down, on to tier 3.
And as we went over before, tier 3 normally the interesting change for Merton. Girl.
I mean, it was still a
Girl
fire
lady in
attack.
the
I mean,
Yeah. Girl, lady in back will cast Whirlwind or raise the front one if you slay the front one first. And rest. We'll do Meteo, Train if you get it too low, and counters with the final columnist. Normally starts with Merton or W when there. Merton got replaced with Fire Skiing.
It really throws you off whenever you see it, doesn't it?
It's like, wait, yeah, it's like, that's not on your move list.
Yeah, we're so used to following the scripting that seeing anything different like that is just... it gets you for a moment. And we see that Calmness come out. Calmness is not affected by scaling. It is still an instant death physical attack. I know at least one of our runners has Golem that can take care of that. I'm not sure if Turdsman found that. But again, we can take one character down and 3 characters can still kill final.
And the question is, this is a race situation. Is it really worth spending the time to cast Golem?
Very true. Very true. You know, it's hard to break that muscle memory, though, whenever you're used to playing certain flag sets where it's not required, but very, very helpful. It's hard to get past that mindset of, hey, I don't have to do this. I've got all the answers in my back pocket.
Agreed. The amount of... yeah, just because, as we've been saying, the amount of times we fight this, where we're going through the normal full script with all the more dangerous counters.
All right, Turdsman has put his done in. We're going to be seeing Christopher Warkin coming in for red team, while Fitz beats his tier 1, but loses Cyan in the process.
If Fitz has the gold, might be more important here just to make sure Locke doesn't get got.
Very true. And again, with multi-summon on, he can use it in any tier, or in every tier, if he so chooses.
And we join the Warkin's looting are already in progress. We know we've got a Setzer and a Mog.
You know, I always like a Mog start. I like being able to get that information from Yeti Check, Kefka, Narsh, and the Lone Wolf. And we have Turdsman in the booth with us. GG's, Turdsman.
Hey, thank you very much.
Well, what are your thoughts on the seed? How did it go for you?
I kind of liked it. A lot of the practice seeds that I've done have had experience eggs, like just right there in that center column somewhere. Did Fitz find those? Because I found them a while ago. I'm seeing Quest for Warkin just found them right now. Let's go red team.
Yes, and okay, this Narsh is stacked.
Yeah, along with the limits. Okay, well, I think this is a more stacked seed than the 2 previous ones already.
That would have been nice. Although, actually,
Yeah.
it wouldn't have been nice because I didn't go there right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a lot of, find experience eggs, and now you're gonna that's gonna slice 5 to 10 minutes off of your time otherwise. And it didn't have them this time, so it was kind of nice to feel like I was having to pull some stuff out. I had stacks of Endgame equipment, and it was like, okay, well, I want to use this one right now. I want to use this one right now, that sort of thing.
Right. Now, unlike the first seed, you actually did find some really good offense and really good relics in the shops. You found the eggs, you found offerings. I think there was fixed dice.
Mhm.
Yeah, fixed dice.
Yeah, that was about all I had at the beginning, which works just fine for these seeds. I think getting, it's a huge damage variance, but that's fine. I need damage right now at level 3 and all that sort of thing. But yeah, found little bits over time. I would have loved to have found those fixed or the experience eggs early, but oh well.
All right, we see Fitz coming into his T4. A little low on HP, so this is kind of scary, but I'm pretty sure with Locke doing as much damage as he's doing, hey, and a Super Ball, I think we're going to be good to go.
Locke might one-shot Tim right here.
Yep, that is
excellent.
Yep.
A
All
little
right.
HP, little HP Locke's exactly where I wanted him.
Yep.
All right, and we've got ShadowCid coming in. All right. Well, Turdsman, I've asked the heavy question in the previous 2 races, so I'm going to ask you too.
All right.
And if you don't want to share, that's fine. You don't have to go into details. Gamers for Hope, Gamers Against Suicide. A good cause.
Suicide a while back, so it is. I'm really happy that I get to be a part of something that helps with it, an organization that helps with that sort of stuff. It's really important to have a bunch of different access to resources for these sorts of things, because it's really surprising a lot of the times, and not being aware that there is an avenue of help out there for you is a big part of the thing that this organization tries to combat against. And I'm really happy that I can help out with that, even in a little bit of way.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a great response. Great cause.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I am very sorry to hear that it has hit you personally. That is always rough.
I do. It was a while ago, and I don't think it's really coming up. It's not bubbling up necessarily. Unknown. It doesn't really super bothers me or anything like that on a daily basis. So I guess if that's, I don't know, also possibly something that can help is that you can't get better. It's not necessarily a forever feeling.
Yeah, and as I've explained for me, you don't get cured. You don't get cured from it. You find ways to manage it and find ways to surround yourself with happier and more helpful things around you. There is medication and stuff like that help you with anxiety and stuff like that out there. But you find ways to cope with it. You find ways to understand that you do matter. People do care about you. People do love you out there. And that there is help out there to help manage those instances and times and like that. And it's just, there are ways around it. So
yeah. Well, glad I get to help out with that, even a little bit. It's a good thing that we're doing here.
We definitely appreciate you taking your time and being a part of the submission and hopefully being a part of the marathon. Mr. Dave, you got anything?
No, I think you covered the big stuff for the seed, or the big questions.
All right, Turdsman, you have anything you want to, any personal plugs you want to put out there? Anything you kind of want to give shout outs to?
No, nothing particular comes to mind. Just a big shout out to Sabrewolf for putting this all on. Thank you very much. Happy that somebody took the reins of this.
Heck yeah, couldn't have done it without you, buddy.
I appreciate that. Just a little inside thing. I am one of the staff members for Gaming for Hope, so this is my honor to do this. But I can't do it without the rest of the Worlds Collide community, one of the best communities out there across any kind of gaming platform. We have an amazing community. We just celebrated going over 3,000 members on our Discord. So we must be doing something right on this great community here. So I appreciate all the help from you all. And we'll do this again in the beginning of August.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to go back to our regular scheduled programming. We have Christopher Warkin taking on a Doomgaze, I think, at Kefka at Narsh, while we have ShadowCid doing a Burning House play since we started with Setzer, Mog, and Strago.
Okay, we're gonna make the runners of first seeds even more jealous. Not only are there Illus and XP eggs in Narsh, there were Genji gloves in Tamasa.
So we are going to be double swinging some big holy sticks. All right, that is a unicorn from the Kefka at Narsh check. We got through the Doomgaze. Still getting through the Burning House. This is a great fight for XP. The Tap Dancer and Wooly can be a little rough, but I'm pretty sure with the offense that we have, yeah, it's not going to be a problem at all. But we also have Atma weapons for sale too. So if we didn't want to swing a big holy stick and we wanted a lightsaber instead, we have that as an option.
These two runners getting spoiled.
I know, right? I bet Cerise Rose and Jax, if Jax is still watching as well, I bet they're super jealous right now.
I would be.
I mean, no kidding. I'm kind of jealous and I'm just watching. I'm not even racing. All right, so question for this leg of the race. We've done favorite Esper, we've done favorite check. What is your all-around favorite character?
Okay, first gotta make sure Glue's not in the room.
And this is for you, chat, too. You can chime in as well. What's your favorite character in the Final Fantasy VI game? I think you're safe from Glue if you wanna say something other than the Yeti.
I think my favorite character goes. I'm partial to Sabin.
Sabin? Okay. He's a pretty good character. Bodybuilder that strayed too far from his gym. Got it.
But still comes
All
back
right.
to his roots when needed.
Exactly. All right, so from chat we've got Celeste from Physics. We've got Shadow from Easy. I'm gonna say that wrong. I'm not even gonna try. We're gonna go with Easy. I'm sorry, man. All right, from Holgert Live, Shadow, Umaru, and Cyan. From Anubis, we've got Celis, Shadow, and Sabin. Turdsman, Sabin, and Sabre Wolf, of course, my girl Celeste.
Yeah, those are all great choices.
They are all good choices. My favorite is Terra.
Also a great
I'm a Terra
choice.
girl. Yep.
Maybe, Dweia, you and I can have a head-to-head race. We'll have a Celeste Terra start, but I'm only allowed to use Celeste, and you're only allowed to use Terra.
Oh, let's talk about this. We'll go to the drawing board for this one.
Okay.
Oh, this would be a fantastic race.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about this in a couple days, but yeah, I want to do this.
I mean, we can do multiple runs for certain events. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there, y'all.
One thing at a time, Wolf. One thing at a time. Let's get through this one. We'll talk. My people will contact your people.
So while it wasn't truly YOLOing at level 3, we do see ShadowCid making good on the going into Magitech.
Oh, there he goes. Yes, he put his money where his mouth is. Broke into the MTech factory with that Y removed since we do not have Celis. It's okay he didn't do it at level 3. That wasn't a stipulation. Now let's see if it pays off for him.
Not much is standing way this party. Everyone's dual wielding big sticks.
Yeah, that's true. And it looks like Christopher Warkin did a Search the Skies and got Alexander, so that puts Warkin at 3-4, I believe. Sabre might have hit the button before I saw, though, so
3-3.
He's at 3-3. Sabre's faster at hitting that button than I am at looking. Which brings us to something else. We've already mentioned that Sabre's our Restreamer. He is also the one tracking in the background. He is the one changing those numbers for that character in Esper Sprite, keeping us honest and making sure that I know what I'm talking about. And, well, Dave's also doing that because I tend to run my mouth before I actually think. So I appreciate both of you.
That's fine. We're just vibing here.
We are vibing.
Or what's not vibing is that Scare Force.
Yeah,
No chill.
Whenever I first started playing Worlds Collide, I used to laugh whenever I saw this boss, and then somebody called it Scare Force, and I have come to realize why. That is a nasty boss.
Yeah, you ever been hit with a combo from that thing?
Oh yes, a launcher into shrapnel. Yep.
Or the full platter launcher missiles, like launcher shrapnel, and then one person survived. No, here's a diffuser coming right behind it.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a reason that we call it Scare Force. Alright, Christopher Warkin getting through what's lovingly called RNG Cave, just because the amount of coral that you get from the chest is randomized between 1, 3, and 5.
1, 2, 3, and 5.
1, 2, 3, and 5.
I only noticed because I just ran that cave in the weekly draft seed earlier today.
Ah, nice. But you still have to only feed him 22 things of coral, and you get let in. We are here with a Narapa, who goes down very quickly.
And Sid making full good on the Magitech play by clearing it out entirely.
You know what? I'm so proud of him for this.
Hey, there's our monk.
There you go. Speaking of your favorite character, there is Sabin, and Sabin is such a good character in Worlds Collide just because he has some really great checks.
Unfortunately, in your standard Ultra League seeds, he sometimes sits on the bench because that equip pool could use some work.
Yeah, he does come with a naturally high vigor, but if you can't put it to use swinging those big sticks, or if he has, say like Runic as his skill, yeah, he flies the airship a lot.
But in this flag set, where you're likely just swinging big sticks around, where everyone could swing everything around, you're just putting 2 big sticks on him. turn them loose.
Exactly. So I'm curious. I wonder why Christopher Warkin is only running with 3 characters in his party.
Yeah, that's a good question. May have just to accident or may have mismenued.
Possibly. We might be seeing an airship switch just to get that full party. I'm trying to think if he has any checks that he would want to set up his party that way, but we don't have Gao. We don't have Gogo. Well, you wouldn't do that for Gogo anyway.
Yeah, you go down to 1 for Gogo.
Exactly. So I'm guessing that was probably a misclick, and we will be seeing a party switch up on the airship. I could be wrong. Christopher Warkin might be big braining something that I'm not thinking about. And in the meantime, ShadowCid finishing up, not having a Moogle Charm, but will be finishing up his MTech 3, which is guaranteed progression of either a character or an item.
Yeah, just to reiterate too, there isn't split XP is not turned on either.
Oh, I would hope not. We want this flag set to be quick and breezy, not you get no XP.
Yeah, quick and easy, not split XPZ. I will see myself out now.
Woof.
They pay me to make these terrible jokes.
Wait, you get paid to make terrible jokes?
I mean...
Hey, on that note, shout out community to our newest moderator for our community, Dweia, too, by the way. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Like I said, they pay me to make these terrible jokes. Speaking of terrible jokes at this moment, that is a go-go.
No, there's our airship pilot.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So Gogo in this flag set is not as valuable as Gogo in another flag set. His check is a free check, which means you don't get anything from his 1 check in this flag set. And we're swinging big sticks. We're not popping rods and we're not popping shields. So Gogo is probably going to be left on the bench.
We're also not chucking strike-ins, which Gogo is fantastic at doing.
That's true.
Gogo's check is one of the few free checks that is excluded from the no free checks list.
Oh, my fault. My mistake.
It's the way it was explained to me at some point. It's because Gogo only has 1 check.
Yeah, because of algorithm, it's better for him to have a actual reward or dead check possibility. So.
And see, this is why I have you guys with me. Serious Rose makes a good point. You do have to fight the bridge trolls and the ceiling.
Yeah, some of the worst enemies in the game, those little green dudes.
Ooh. I do not care for them. Alright, so on Christopher Warkin's side, we now have 5 characters, 3 Espers, while on ShadowCid's side, we're about to have 4 characters, 4 Espers. So this is actually a very close race.
I wonder where we'll see these runners go. Where'd you be going when you see these shoes?
Well, on Christopher Warkin's side, I would try the checks that you can peek. You can peek Phantom Train. We will not be going to Collapsing House because it is considered a free check. Yeah, I would either do Phantom Train or this one. Just because you get the free heal before Baron falls. And it's relatively quick. It's just 1 bites fight and you're done.
Well, we
course,
hope
this
you
is-
didn't win XP from this.
Yeah, this is an absolutely terrible boss fight. Just because the nature of how you win it, being sneezed off the theater, you don't get any XP, you don't get any MP. It is really just there to be annoying. So what about you? Where would you go?
On Warkin's side, you need Espers. I would not be opposed to breaking the match tech. And I think I like exactly what ShadowCid is doing. You just need everything yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, that's character number 6 for Quest for Warkin. Probably not what he was wanting to see at all.
Usually we're happy to see the small murder child come up, but
Cerise Rose in chat brings up a good point. The Esper Mountain check is an easy peekable check, which is what Warkin is going to do now. However, characters tend to lead to characters in Worlds Collide. I'm not sure how the no free progression will affect that, but the odds of this being another character are a little higher than it being an Esper.
it shouldn't affect it too much.
It would take someone a lot smarter than me to know the coding for all this to be able to give you a true answer on that.
However, we see the gal and immediately decide, nah, we got better place to go.
Yep. Better places to go, better Espers to see.
That is the second time during this entire marathon run that Gao was ignored.
Well, that's just sad.
In that case,
Yeah.
gal go back to the Veld.
Yeah, we'll just leave him. He can live on the mountain. Perfectly comfortable there.
It's right near his normal home.
Sure. Just like a continent over. So I like your idea of Quest for Warkin breaking into MTech and at least doing 1 and 2. The other thing that he could do, along with that, is go up to the Tritalk spot and do that check, which will only be an Esper or an item.
We need
Right,
2
we-
Espers left. Let's go bargain with Zen Thief. Need another $6,000.
range.
That's yeah, just sell the tools. You should get close to it.
Exactly. The nice thing about starting with all the tools and no tool user is you just sell them. Sell that dried meat. You're never going to use that. Sure. I don't. Yeah, I think
That's enough.
33,000. That was worth it. That was worth getting Siren.
Regardless of what it is, it's one for the pile. So the fact that it's a good one for the pile is a bonus.
Yeah, no kidding. We still have Search the Skies. This will be Esper number 6, I believe.
Yes, it will. We did see Search the Skies from Quest for Warkin earlier.
All right, so this will be unlocked for ShadowCid. I'm guessing that breaking into MTech paid off.
Yeah, and all the XP gained from that, from Burning House. ShadowCid's got some levels.
Yeah, there's nothing that can take him down at this point. I think he's pretty good to go. Just a reminder, since this is a relay race, Papa Shongo will be taking over for Christopher Warkin when he gets the crack pow for the red team, and DrinksGlue will be taking over for ShadowCid on the blue team.
We know this is not a character out of Alder's Mansion, although the Doom Guardian can be rude.
Yeah, thankfully we are dual wielding some Illuminas more than likely, which is going to negate his shadows. We are not dual wielding Illuminas, are we? There we
Some of us
go.
are.
Some of us are.
I was more thinking the potential starting Northern Cross.
That is unfortunate. How can Doom do that though if he is scaled down?
I don't think Northern Cross scales.
Okay.
I've seen it throw Northern Cross at the first check.
That's true. Oh, an unfortunate Pearl ineffectiveness from that force field, but it doesn't matter.
But Doom did not roll large stick ineffectiveness.
No. Oh, but on ShadowCid's side, we have a Tritalk. I don't think we have any fire magic, and those stick swings are not going to really do anything.
Did we buy an Atma weapon? We did. Uh-oh.
No. Oh, this could be a very unfortunate... Yeah, this is a reset.
This is go back to Narsha, get an Atma weapon.
But do we have the money for it? Because we just sold everything for the Esper.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
Oh, and we did not save, it looks like, after the Search the Skies fight, so we do not have unlock anymore? Yeah, it looks like he has read our minds and is, getting that weapon, which is 146 gold. Okay.
And the nice thing about Atma weapons against that Tritalk, Atma weapon ignores defense.
It does. Yeah, that was a lot of Atma weapons. We just stocked up on a weapon that is supposed to be singular in the world. We're just gonna load up on them.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
It's fine. Yes, that is a lot of Atma weapons. So pretty much everybody will be able to swing an Atma weapon if we wanted. We are getting a Mount Colts play by Christopher Warkin. This is a check that gets faded a lot by a lot of people. I've been trying to route it in because it's really not that bad of a check.
No, it's about a minute to a minute and a half of walking, and then you fight the boss.
This is my least favorite one, honestly.
That's fair.
It seems to be a lot of people's least favorite, and I think it's because of that spiral path where everybody bonks.
Well, I mean, you design a game that's 4 directions, and you put in a dungeon that you have to move in 8 different directions. Doesn't exactly work very well.
And he's not wrong. That diagonal walking wasn't invented yet.
And unfortunately, they were not on Pixel Remaster.
No, we're not. Which is a good thing, because then we wouldn't be able to play randomizer. And that is Chatternook down. Let's see what we get for this Mount Colts play. That is exactly what Warkin wanted to see. And here we go, round 2 against Tritalk, this time armed with Atma weapons. It's not going to be a big deal at all.
At 3,000 a swing, that's much better than the 12 a swing.
Yeah, Yeah. You never want to run into Tritalk whenever you don't have anything that does fire, because beating him down for 22 points a hit is never fun.
It does look like Warkin is going to break into Magitech to get the last two.
I like it. This is a good thinking by Warkin.
Hey, not gonna lie, I never remember you can shop here.
I hardly ever check it. I know that you can, I just hardly ever go there. Alright, we've got one statue boss down. We have 3 left to go on ShadowCid's side. Reminder that DrinksGlue will be taking over for him when he gets the crack pow from Final Kefka. The leader is not going to give any problems. Now we are 2 out of 4 down.
And I think we've run into, unless Magic Master is still out there some, we've run into pretty much the worst things we can find.
Well, Uncle Ulti is here to say hello. Not going to last long at all.
It's ulti 3, so it had the HP to walk off one set of swings.
Yeah. Alright, so quick prediction. What do you think is going to be the last statue boss?
I don't know what we haven't seen. Have we seen Marshall yet?
I'm getting Seed Bleed. I know we saw him with Skycaps and for somebody. I don't remember if it was here or not.
Marshall with whichever of the robots that can L5 Doom.
Duelers.
Not saying this because this Mog is level 35 or anything.
Okay, well, I'm hoping for Spicy Chicken. That is the complete opposite of both of what we said.
Yeah, that is neither spicy nor chicken.
That is... You know what? I've got
That is escargot.
That is a whelp whelk. That was the best thing that a solo Mog could have run up against. That is last statue down. We are about to be on switches for ShadowCid. I believe we have all the answers for Final Kefka, so we can get through this pretty quickly.
Fairly certain the theme of this final Kefka is going to be Hold A.
Yeah, as it should be in this flag set.
With the Scare Force down on Warkin's side, that will be Esper 6.
And that will be unlock. And knowing what we know, found that the statue bosses are not going to be any trouble at all. Possibly that Tritalk, depending, but I don't think Christopher Warkin is going to have a hard time at all.
Just may need to reset and rearrange if you send someone down there who can't do fire or defense ignoring damage.
Exactly, and that is a real possibility. Here we go. This is Tier 1 for ShadowCid.
We're swinging Illus. Reverse polarity doesn't matter.
Exactly. We don't care what row we're in. The Illumina is one of the best shields in the game, along with one of the best swords. And if they're going to put in the back row, the damage is the same. So no big deal there. T1 is down incredibly quickly. We're about to hit T2. ShadowCid does have Siren, so magic will not be a problem. I can imagine this is going to go just about as quickly. Warkin dealing with this Tritalk. He has slots, so that is actually very helpful.
Sure.
Well, okay, yeah, maybe not as helpful as I was hoping.
Yeah, the Mog is like level 20.
Yeah, oh, that is unfortunate. And that is also a dead Mog. Okay, at this point, I would have to say reset. However, I'm not sure when the last time Quest for Warkin saved. So he may be reluctant to jump out of this.
I was looking to the inventory to see if there was a Flame Saber or something in there.
Yeah. You know, when things like this happen, this is where you really see the runner's game knowledge shine. Knowing those little out-of-the-box ways of thinking to get past the obstacles like this. So like you said, Flame Saber or Fire Rods or anything like that that could really help you break that physical defense barrier.
It does look like we're going to try to 7-flush our way through the fight.
You do what you gotta do. Even this Drain spell, while it's probably not gonna do very much because I don't think Sabin's very low. Yeah, exactly. But that's not a terrible way to think.
No, and I hadn't thought about Drain here. Wait, Tritalk's floating?
I guess so.
And we just saw Chocobot miss.
Yeah, so Tritalk must be coded as floating, despite the fact that he's sitting in a chunk of ice. Alright, so enough about that though. We just had tier 3 down and we saw Mog take a calmness to the face on ShadowCid's side, but we are on T4, and as we have said in the previous runs, you only need 3 people or less as long as you can kill Final Kefka.
And with everyone swinging 2 Illuminas, is it really that bad to lose Mog here?
I mean, did he set up his Go-Go? Is Go-Go still swinging Atmas?
Maybe?
Does it matter?
No.
Exactly. Alright, so for interview purposes, I'm going to let you take the lead this time, because I need a drink.
Understood. That was a very quick final Kefka.
GG's to ShadowCid. Let's see if he wants to join us. There
and
he is.
GG's to Sid. So, what were your thoughts on that seed?
Being outside of the Tritalk snafu, that's about as fast as I think you can go.
We did.
That was fast.
We did see that you made good on your promise to YOLO in the Magitech.
Yeah, I thought about doing it first, and I kind of felt bad not doing it first, but I wanted some money for the Illuminas that I knew were there. I was getting some money at Burning House first, and then YOLO'd into Magitech.
Speaking of those, I don't know how your practice has gone this flag set. What were your thoughts when you saw that Narsh?
I was like, well, I guess I don't gotta go anywhere anymore. That was a pretty nice weapon shop. I had to go back for Atma weapons, but I think the Mazda had Genji gloves. Like, well, okay, like done. Looting's done.
Yeah, sometimes Tritalk shows up and decides to just be a jerk.
Yeah, I wanted to go before and I forgot. It was like, Magimaster or Tritalk or something might show up that needs it. So I was planning on it, but since I got go mode so early, it was like unlock at 23 minutes. I was like, okay, I just go in and then at least it was the first boss that showed up for Try Talk. Because if that was the last one of the 4, that would have been bad.
You would have been going for you've either been resetting out of everything or going for a walk.
Yep. So it cost me 2 minutes instead of the potential like 7 or 8. But it
Well,
was
Warkin kind of
fun.
had the same problem. He had to reset out of his Tri-Talk and reform his
no.
party for very
Hopefully-
similar reasons.
Did he find the Narsh?
Well, he
Yes.
did. I think his plan, he just reset his parties and put his shock user there to take care of Tri-Talk. So didn't have to make a store run, but still had the same kind of issues that you did.
That's fair. So I was thinking, like, what if the other path is Magimaster? And like, I probably should buy the ammo weapons because there's not a whole lot I could do to that Try Talk without something.
I mean, I'll be honest, we were trying to commentator curse you a little bit.
Oh no!
Dave was hoping for Marshall and Duelers, and I was hoping for Spicy Chicken, and neither one of us got what we wanted.
Yeah.
The Marshall Dueler call-up may have been because Mog was level 35.
No, that's fair. Hopefully I would have saved before then, but there was some Moogle Charm juggling to try and get everybody's levels up.
As you do. As you try to do, anyway. Alright, so the big heavy question that I've asked every time, and then I will ask every time coming forward. So, gamers Gaming for Hope, Gamers Against Suicide. Wonderful fundraiser that they've got going on. A great event, a great cause. Has this hit you personally that in a way that makes you want to do this, or is it just because you want to support this fundraiser for what it is?
I do want to support it. I did have a personal friend maybe 3 years ago that unfortunately was found, and that was hard.
Yeah.
So I didn't find out about it until months later, just because word gets through the grapevine eventually.
Right.
Yeah, it's tough to process, and it's one of those things that just every little bit that's available helps, and kind of like wish and hope that was available to them, but that's in the past. So going forward, trying to champion the cause.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing, and both your story and your time doing the submission and hopefully doing the marathon when the actual event takes place. So you're very much appreciated, and cannot again express enough how much thanks that we give to you and all of our runners that are helping, as you put it, champion this event. Dave, you got any further questions?
I asked if I wanted to when we were discussing the seed.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Sid,
There's
do
not a
you
whole
have
lot to talk
any,
about that seed. I mean, I looted 9 chests, I think.
And everything you needed was dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There wasn't a dead check. Everything landed exactly where it needed to land, and we got to YOLO Magitech.
I was so happy about that, by the way.
I wanted to pet the dog, but unfortunately there wasn't a character there.
Well, Mr. Sid, is there anything personal that you want to plug, anything that you want to give shout outs to before we let you go and continue on with our race?
No, it's just the Worlds Collide community is great. I'm glad that we're able to do causes like this and help fundraise for these great causes. And this is absolutely a good one.
All right, well, thank you again, and we will get back to this race where Christopher Warkin is on tier 1, and Glue has been raiding shops, raiding very weird chests, like the Forbidden Clock, as Turdsman points out, along with doing a Miranda check, which you hardly ever see.
Excuse me, where?
Exactly. Miranda.
Glue did find one of my favorite pieces of headgear in this flag set. The cat hood.
I also want to point out that
Oh.
when he did go to Miranda, he also found a Genji glove, for crying out loud.
Yeah, the Miranda paid off with that Genji glove. But yes, the cat hood. Why is that, Dave? Explain the cat hood to me.
Well, in this, it gives you double money for everything, or for fights, but the real reason I like it in this flag set, it gives you resist to everything that's not poison and water, as well as some good defense and stat boosts.
Exactly. Now, in normal flag sets when you don't have 100% equip, very few characters end up being able to wear it. Realm is the only natural user. But in this flag set, load up the cat hoods.
So,
I see we have... Oh, go ahead.
so Glue has 6 Ragnaroks, 3 offerings, a VK, 2 fixed dice, 4 experience eggs, and I don't know why, but he bought 61 merit awards. I don't know why.
Wait, really?
Are you serious? I missed that.
I am
He
not
bought
joking. He bought
61.
61 merit awards. I'm
going to soup and an entire party in Moogle suits because why not?
I mean, oops, oh Moogles. But yeah, 61 merit awards is hilarious. I really want to know why he did that, considering that everything's 100% equipable. So yeah.
I'm going to guess there were like 1 or 2 GP and it was this is funny.
Okay. I have to give shoutouts to Glue. He is the Moogle Cup CFO in charge of the Moogle Cup, so him doing all Moogles is absolutely appropriate, and I applaud him.
And here we see Mog lining up a shock.
All right, we did not talk about this starting lineup though. We have Terra, Strago, and Setzer.
Yeah. Strago, Setzer with capture, Terror with control, Strago with shock.
Well, 1 out of 3 ain't bad. And for the red team, that is tier 3 down. We got a calmness that was blocked. Now we're on to T4 with all 4 of our characters. Christopher Warkin is going to take very little time to defeat Final Kefka, and Papa Shongo will be coming in for the red team.
And the runners up now, or DrinksGlue on blue team and the upcoming Papa Chong red team, are the final leg of this 4-race relay.
I'm going to mention that this race is technically not over. I mean, yes, Glue looks like and appears he has a huge lead, but Glue spent a lot of time looting towns when, me personally, I would have cut it like 6-7 minutes ago. So I don't think this race is quite over.
No, it is absolutely not. Anything could happen, and Papa Shongo is an amazing runner.
Oh yes, having a race against Papa Shongo in Ultras League, I can confirm that.
Yeah, he is definitely not somebody that I would want to be in a pod with for any of our events. Alright, we're going to get Christopher Warkin up here in the booth with us. In just a moment. And again, I will let you take over asking the questions. I need to step away for just 1 second, and I will be right back.
Sure thing. As soon as we get a visit from Westford. And speak name and the person will appear. GG's Christopher Warkin.
GG.
So, what were your thoughts on that seed?
I thought I did really good. I thought I had a genius moment right at the beginning when I checked levels, took an extra fight before running into Doomgaze at Kefka at Narsh. I thought I was really proud of myself with that. And the seed went along quite well, and then I ran into Frozen Chicken.
Yeah, both of you had your issues with that.
Yeah, and I couldn't remember where I saved, so I spent too long before resetting out. And that cost me.
I asked the same thing to ShadowCid. What were your thoughts when you saw that Narsh?
I'm sitting there going, well, that's game. I'm sitting there going, well, okay, if you're gonna hand me Illuminas for cheap, I'll use them.
And you certainly made good use of the power you found.
Yeah.
Just kept finding characters when you needed Espers.
Yeah, how did Cid... He made up like 20 minutes.
The
Early
full Magic
Magic
Tech
Tower.
play was huge.
Early Magic
and
Tower. Not Magic Tower, Magitech.
yeah, early Magic
So-
Tech play, I believe it was a triple Esper in there, or 2 Esper character. But just that
I think
led
it
to...
was- Is Triple
Say what?
Esper.
It was triple Esper from
Triple
there.
Esper.
So just used that and found the Genji gloves, so everyone was swinging 2 Illus.
Okay. Yeah, that's my curse on this flag set is I keep finding characters when I need Espers.
Honestly, that's my curse for most flag sets. I'll either find all characters or all Espers, and then I'm stuck hunting down everything else.
Yep.
So I
that-
feel ya.
That's about par for the course, so.
All right, Mr. Dave, did you ask my my signature question yet, or shall I?
I'll let you have the signature question, only because I will
Alright.
find a way to screw it up.
Signature question being, I've kind of asked everybody, as I'm sure you've heard while you were in chat. This is a great event, a great cause. If you want to share, you can. If not, that's okay too. But is there any way that this has hit you personally that really makes you want to be a part of this event, or just because it's a great cause to champion?
6 to 1, half a dozen of blah, 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 blah. 6 to 1, half a dozen of the other. It is a great event. It's a great cause. I have been, that myself personally in the past. So any time I can help fight that, I want to get involved, because that is losing the battle against mental illness. It's not, people look down on it negatively, saying it's a choice. No, it's not. It's like, people don't look down on people for losing the battle against cancer. Suicide is losing the battle against depression. And there's a lot of negative connotation to it. And that stigma needs to change. So anything we can do to help fight the battle, I'm all for.
Very well said, and I am so thankful that you are here today to say that, and thank you for sharing. That is very heartfelt, very meaningful, and I am so glad that you chose to be a part of this event.
Me too.
Is there any personal plugs that you want to put out there for everyone to hear about? Anything that you want to give shout outs to?
Just our community in general. Worlds Collide is the absolute hands down best community I found on the internet. Period. End of discussion. If you disagree, fight me. Same thing with our game. Again, if you're interested, if we've sparked your interest, please join our Discord. Join us. We will have people literally fighting to help you. and that sounds like a joke, but it isn't. Other than that, thank you to Sabre Wolf for putting this on and organizing it, and thank you to everyone for getting involved. So, I just want to plug the community in our game.
Awesome. Well, we will let you go. That way, you can enjoy watching the rest of the race if you choose, and we can go back to telling everybody just what's going on.
Sounds great. Thank you. Work.
Well, that was the most adorable thing ever, and I loved it.
A little work at the end.
Hi. All right, so back to our race. This is the last leg of the race between Papa Shongo and DrinksGlue. Papa Shongo is at 3-1, getting a little bit of a later start than Glue did, but will definitely be catching up soon, I'm sure. DrinksGlue being at 4-2. Looks like he is doing still a little bit of shopping. Not sure why. He has those 61 merit awards that I'm sure is going to come into play at some point.
Meanwhile, Papa Shongo found some oddly flying fish.
That's not the weirdest place I've seen him.
No.
No, when they show him in Burning House, that's always the weirdest one, I think. It's like, how did you even get there? Why would you even be there?
Also, want to point out one thing from our runners here that DrinksGlue actually went to the top of Narsh to do Kefka at Narsh, while Shongo did not. And that is where Realm is. So it's going to be interesting on what the rest of the character progressions are, especially when that's a lock at Realm.
Yep.
That's actually big.
So we're hoping to see alternate progression and not just. Although the old hard required 3-character Kefka and Narsh trick is always funny. When I'm not the one playing the seed.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Glue, you have to get rid of the imp. It's ruining your all Moogle lineup. Alright, so let's see here. I have asked a question every run of this marathon. Let's see here. Alright. What is your least favorite boss to fight in KT? Excluding Magimaster and Doomgaze.
Tentacles.
And I am welcome you to answer that as well. And Tentacles is a good one because Tentacles in KT with 2 characters is
yeah,
so annoying.
2-character Tentacles, if they get it's very easy to get completely locked down.
Yeah, I'm definitely up there with Tentacles. On a high scaling seed, I would say Senior Behemoth is another one, because Senior Behemoth can, or even Toilet Atma, both of them, can literally get any spell in the game,
True.
including Fallen One Ultima, which has happened to me before. So
Yeah,
that's another like late game high scaling like those two as well.
That's very fair. I've seen the You're Dead combo come out.
Yeah.
Or follow one directly into Goner. Nothing you could do about it.
Yeah, that's really true. Okay. I'm going to interrupt my own question. Papa Shongo is kind of making a mistake, I believe. This is one thing I've learned from playing the War of the Magi Poltergeist flag. No, he does have Terra. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was thinking that they did not have Terra, and I was like, if he removes that, there is no reward at the top. Okay.
I made that mistake in a Jones seed.
I was panicking for Papa Shongo for a moment, for some reason thinking we did not have Terra.
You make that mistake exactly once.
Yeah. All right, crisis averted. Going back to my own question, my least favorite to fight in KT is Inferno. I will get wrecked by that boss every time.
Inferno, especially if you sent someone with an offering of some sort and run into it, can just eat time.
For some reason, yeah, I don't know why, but that boss will just eat me alive because somehow it'll kill off one of my characters and then petrify the other.
True. So we're talking about bosses that could be rude at the end, especially if you're sending an offering user down their lane. Rexol.
Oh yeah, that's just rude because it's slow.
And if you send an offering, you're probably seeing the Soul Savers do their fade out, fade in repeatedly.
Yeah. Well, thankfully in Worlds Collide, again, this is kind of like the Ultima Magimaster thing. The zinger is turned off, so at least you don't have to deal with that mechanic.
Fun part about that is, if with the right spells, that could make the fight easier.
That's true.
Throw an X Zone out after Zinger and watch what happens.
I think that's actually turned off, though. Like, I know you can do that in the vanilla game, but I don't think you can do that if Zinger's turned on in Worlds Collide.
That is off.
Yes. But no, that's how I
Oh, you
always got
can't
through
just-
that fight as a kid.
Ah.
Yeah. Alright, I am Damar in chat saying Haydn. Yeah, Haydn's pretty nasty in KT as well.
Yeah, the zinger thing falls into the category of like Joker Doom, stuff like that.
Yeah, Vanish Doom is turned off. Right. Yeah. Covert Marshal. Coverts are never what you want to see with this character. Glue's gonna make short work of them, but anything with a ninja sprite like that can be very nasty.
Honestly, why stop at Covert Marshal or Retainer Marshal with 2 characters?
Oh, actually, now
I
that's
trade off.
terrible. Yeah. I have fallen prey to that a couple of times. Not fun.
And when suddenly you have to slam on the brakes so you don't accidentally drop both retainers in a single attack.
Yeah, I've done that. All right, Glue warping out of M-Tech 2. He got what he came for, I'm guessing. Or did just not want to follow through.
And plenty of checks available. We could just... yeah, we can get the Zen Thief. Unfortunately, this will always be an item.
Yeah, and because he's unlocked Saban, he can't leave unless he has to do it. Oh, very cheap
Worth it.
Esper though. Yeah. What? Oh, okay. So he's going to reset out.
I mean, you
That
already
may
got
have
the
been a
free
real...
Esper. I mean, just do it at that point. I mean,
Yeah, that may have been a realization that the save and check itself won't give progression, but still
Yeah,
7k
I'm kind of-
to
I mean, if you
go
get the Esper here, you can still go back and do it. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Sabre. The check is pretty quick. I mean, the cutscene at the end kind of wastes some time, but I mean, you're there. You might as well do it and then do this. All right, that is Chatternook down for Papa Shongo. While Glue fights the flying fish.
Okay. We have an angry Terra in a Moogle suit throwing dice at these fish.
Meanwhile, we've got Papa Shongo finding Glue's favorite character, the Yeti, hiding out at Ebbett's Rock.
That's gonna break
Glue
his
will be so
heart. That's
sad.
gonna
Yeah,
break Blue's heart.
You know how we have to start this interview, don't you?
Oh, I do. I do know.
So Glue, why didn't you pick up the Yeti character like your opponent did?
You know, Sabre, I might give you the honors of asking that.
Oh no. It'd be better from you actually.
Why do I have to take one for the team? Alright, okay. So, Glue's gonna pick up his Golem. He is now at 6 and 5. Just needs one more Esper for that unlock. He knows where a very cheap Esper is if he wanted to go there, or maybe he'll just get the more expensive one possibly in World of Balance. However, with all those cat hoods, I don't think it's gonna make a difference.
Yeah, just pay 27 and avoid the check. That makes sense why Glue would have done this.
You know what? There's a reason that he is a Mega Elixir runner, and I am a mere tonic runner or potion
Is it because
runner
you
now.
don't? Is it because you don't buy 11 sniper sights at random and then send the person in front of the collapse house into the X zone?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I don't
Glue
buy
is
the
just-
61 merit awards in a 100% equip seed.
Glue was just sending the person from collapse house to go meet Gilgamesh.
Speaking of spicy chickens, we have Poltergeist here in the mountain. It's gonna be probably a quick fight. I'm not sure if we have stop, as this guy can be stopped. I'm not sure it really even matters, because we're probably just gonna beat him down. That's a dead Yeti, though. Don't tell Glue.
The seeds of this I played, I like the Yeti in this. More often than not, you're just holding A anyway, so I have someone that holds the A button for you.
Yeah, anytime you get a Yeti with
Exactly.
an Atlas, especially with an Atlas armlet Yeti, it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Alright, meanwhile, we've got Glue entering the tower. Once again, with this flag step, they get skipped from the beginning. So all we have to do is these 4 boss fights and Final Kefka. And this leg of the marathon will be over. This is going to be a very quick Atma weapon, thanks to those dice and that Ragnarok.
Papa Shongo does handily dispatch a spicy chicken.
And the Yeti's alive. Alright, what do we get from Tritalk? We get an Esper. So Papa Shongo is at...
And it's 4-5, and going to just keep walking straight into the Yeti's cave.
Might as well. You're up there. You might as well do it. Alright, we've got the double cranes. These are going to be very easy bosses for Glue to take care of. Those dice are going to make quick work.
Yeah,
Oh,
Oh yeah, they're both down.
I mean, Tara's got hot hands tonight. Glue might want to buy himself a lottery ticket. Alright, we got an Esper from the Yeti Cave. So after this fight, that should put Papa Shongo at 4-6. Does he pass his math check, though?
Yes,
He
thankfully.
does.
We have seen most of our math tests passed on stream.
Yeah, I think the only unfortunate one was that level 4 flare at the very beginning.
Yeah, the That was more a math pop quiz, I think, and no one saw it, and no one was expecting it.
Does that mean that level 4 flare was like the Spanish Inquisition of Worlds Collide?
I wasn't expecting it. Were you?
Nope.
So well done.
No. All right, we've got Welk up here in one of the statue spots. Fail Snail is gonna go down. No big deal. While Doomgaze goes down on Papa Shongo's side.
Hey, didn't we just see a snail over here?
Yeah, I think we did. He didn't move out. Alright, and I believe that will be one more boss left for Glue, unless I have miscounted.
And first, we have the old forgot to equip the Moogle Charm trick.
You know, I think at least one person has done that every leg of this race.
Certainly, well, I certainly haven't done that in the past 6 hours.
Oh yeah, I never do it. Alright, so we see the Imp Sprite down at Mobliz. I am not sure, did Glue do this? I don't think it matters. We're gonna Y remove a dog. Papa Shongo has officially lost the entire race now.
Yeah, we do have the we do get to end this on a Magimaster.
I mean, I feel like it would not be a proper Worlds Collide race if we did not end on a Magimaster.
Fortunately for Glue, we have someone with shock on this side.
We do, and we have Berserk. So Magimaster is pretty much turned into a kitten at this point. He cannot do his wall change, meaning you can throw spells at him and it's no big deal.
And by the way, we just found out from Shongo it was mandatory Kefka and Arsh.
Yep.
Oh,
We
that is a feels bad moment.
I will not fault anyone for last locationing a hard required Kaden.
Yeah. That is a check that, if I can help it, I will fade.
We do have a Sarah Rose and Chad point out Leet River could also be progression. But you're checking Kaden before you're going to Leet River.
I was gonna say, what? There's no other check other than Kefka and Arsh at this point. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, what's this river?
Leet River doesn't exist. Leet River can't hurt you.
Okay, we're not drawing the like water card from the Setzer's Battle Royale, okay? You're not going to get Blitz from doing Lette River.
What we do get, though, is we do get switches for DrinksGlue at 2:43:17 for this marathon relay run. Folks, we are at the very last leg of this. Blue team, starting out behind, has taken a pretty significant lead. We haven't done this the whole time, but if anybody wants to in chat, Dave, you included, how long do you think this final Kefka fight is going to last?
You know what we've been seeing? This is like I'm gonna say 3 minutes 20 seconds.
That's a pretty good guess. Yeah, I'm gonna say 3 minutes 30 seconds.
I thought you were gonna Price is Right me here.
No. I wasn't gonna do that to you. I thought about it. I really did, but I wasn't going to. All right, 4 minutes even from I Am Damar.
That head is already down.
Oh, that's nice. Can I just say again how much I appreciate the full Moogle roster, though?
You gotta commit if you're gonna go for a fit like this. And I do appreciate it.
I mean,
You
he's
commit to
promoting
the
the
bit.
Moogle Cup, which is coming very, very soon, y'all. Please join in, because spots are filling up. That's a good way to advertise.
He's not wrong. Alright, Papa Shongo finally has his unlock, doing Kefka at Narsh for his realm. 5 characters, 6 Espers. He is on his way to Kefka's tower to finish up the last leg of this race for the red team.
In fact, speaking of Moogle Cup, I'm fairly certain Papa Shongo came through it.
Yes, Papa Shongo, I believe, was the winner of Moogle Cup 1. And his mentor for that was OneFreeFitz, actually. So you have seen both of those runners for this marathon relay. And DrinksGlue getting up to Tier 2. Going to Fenrir up to protect against 10 hits when it comes out. Makes it go very quick whenever they all miss. And a Berserk for that Terra to get those dice going.
We see what happens when a gambler loses a few times.
Alright, so now we're getting a haste 2 out. Oh, this is going to go so quick. Meanwhile, Papa Shongo is taking out his Magimaster. And in chat, I am Damar. I'm excited for the Moogle Cup too. I am one of the mentors for it, along with Sabre Wolf, our Restreamer, and a lot of the other runners that you've seen tonight are also mentors. So yes, I'm excited too, and I cannot wait to see you there.
Hey, just shout out to me, I guess. Best winningest record in the Moogle Cup as a coach, 9-2. So looking to expound on that with whoever Moogle's going to be under me. And shout out to Dweia, who's also in the booth, who was my Moogle during Moogle Cup 2. So you contributed to that.
I did. And shoutouts to my Moogle, Dragon Lady K, who I don't think is with us tonight in the chat, who came runner-up in Moogle Cup 3.
Things you don't see often in Tier 2. Tools is the last one to fall.
Very good point. Yeah, you don't see that very often. I guess whenever you have a Berserked fixed dice offering Terra, you can't really control who's going to go down first. Alright, we have a W Wind coming out from the first move from Sleep with the Pearl Wind from Girl, which is pretty normal. Girl is
back
probably...
is down.
Yeah. Oh boy, this is gonna go so quick.
And we know how much HP Girl had because it's how much the Pearl Wind healed for.
Exactly. That's a really nice little tidbit there. We are getting a Palador show off from Glue.
Which dodged the Quasar, by the way.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, passes the math test. I'm guessing level 4 flare was the Meteo counter.
It was.
I hope he doesn't get bugged off this.
You've got an angry Terra throwing some bones. It should be fine.
We'll be just fine. Glue showing off some lesser seen strats that. Oh, so many questions for him later on. But you know, the most important thing to pull from this, he is obviously having fun, and that is one of the most important things about these events, is that they are fun. Alright, so we did not get bugged. Our jumpers came back down, and now we've got Terra throwing those dice. This is not going to take long at
this
all.
is over.
Yeah, we're not even
very
gonna
over.
We're not even going to see the Crusader come out. GG's, Glue. GG's to the blue team for winning this marathon relay.
Yeah, we did see Glue very tempted to, or hovering over Crusader.
He was going to do it too, you know he was. Alright, and in the meantime, Papa Shongo on his Switch is about to start his final Kefka fight to bring this race to a close. Okay, so blue team won. That's a given. Papa Shongo took the Yeti all the way to the end, though.
Yes, which I think it's a question we need to ask right about now.
Yeah, I will give you the honors.
Hello.
Hey, Glue.
How are you,
Jeez,
Dave?
Glue.
Thank you.
So, why didn't you take the Yeti?
There was a Yeti?
There is a Yeti.
Take a look
Oh,
at
son
Papa
of a-
Shango's side.
The follow-up question to that.
Where was your
Is it-
Morrow?
And it's rock.
Oh, well, okay.
But follow-up question: had you
Of course.
gotten the Yeti, would you have put him in the Moogle suit to keep the full lineup?
Yeah, of course.
All right. You stick to the bit. I am assuming that the full Moogle suit lineup was to promote the Moogle Cup coming up.
Yes, absolutely. We still have a few spots left in Moogle Up, so if you're hoping to be educated and learn and mentor this amazing game, the Moogle Cup is the place for you. So yeah, that was just happenstance. I think like the first thing I found was like red jackets or something. It's like, you know what, this is good enough. And then I found Moogle soups for like 3 GP, and I was like, you know what, let's take 27 of these just in case I find 27 characters.
Or the 61 merit awards.
Well, you know, times are tough out there. Inflation, you know, economy. Nintendo Switch 2 prices are out of control. It's $80 Mario Kart World. But anywho, I thought I would invest that money back into the world, and hopefully that will help the cause.
Well, Glue, you are definitely the most altruistic runner of the night when it comes to the Worlds Collide economy. So shoutouts to you for that.
Thank you.
Of course. All right, so my heavy question that I've asked for everybody, that of course I was going to ask you, and Papa Shongo when he finishes, is if there's anything you want to share, how suicide has hit you personally, or why you really want to support this event, if there's anything that has really motivated you for that.
Well, I'm passionate about the Worlds Collide community, all the amazing things we do in fostering supportive communities. And the Gamers Against Suicide Marathon stands out as an exceptional event. You know, it combines gaming to address a very serious issue. So I just enjoy volunteering my time for that cause to help reduce the stigma around mental health. You shouldn't you shouldn't feel the need to not seek out for help if you are not feeling all right, if you're not feeling okay, if you're not 100%. There are tons of resources out there. There's just not a lot of knowledge of what those resources are. So Gamers Against Suicide provides those resources. We raise money for good cause. And I just believe in the positive impact that we all make together.
Well, thank you, Glue. You definitely add a positivity and ray of sunshine, if you will, to pretty much everything you touch. So we appreciate you. We appreciate the time that you've put forward. Mr. Dave, you got anything?
No, we've covered everything important. Glue is done. Like the all Google team.
We saw you hovering over Crusader. Were you about to pull that trigger?
You know, fun fact, Berserk Fixed Dice is incredibly broken. You don't see enough of it, and you should see more of it, to be honest. But as you saw there, it's so powerful, it wouldn't give me the opportunity to cast Crusader. So more Berserk Fixed Dice offering in the future, if you ask me.
Now, that was some tech I hadn't thought of. I didn't realize that the Berserk would multiply fixed dice by 1.5.
Yep. If you reach level 40, you can expect to do over 20k a turn with a fixed dice offering, and obviously if you get the 8 times. The downside is the long animation, but when you are doing that much damage, the animation doesn't really matter.
All right, well, not to interrupt, but Papa Shongo has hit his crack pal. GG's to Papa Shongo. We'll try to get him in here for an interview as well. Glue, how did you feel racing against Shongo?
You know, I knew Papa Shongo. I had a lead. I had like a 7 or 8 minute lead. So I figured I'd play it safe. I looted it a lot more than what is necessary for this, and found a robust amount of items. There was experience eggs, offerings, there's a Valiant knife I didn't even use. Ragnarok's, honestly, just the Ragnarok's alone would have been good enough, but just in the interest of playing it safe and not giving that lead back, went a little bit more. Did some of the longer checks just as a little more insurance, a little more coverage to not get trolled with a gated seed, and yeah, worked out.
All right. Well, while I'm trying to get Shongo in here for an interview, is there anything personal that you want to plug? Anything you want to share with us before we let you go?
No, thank you to Sabre for hosting tonight. Thank you to Engidave and Dweia for doing commentary. For everybody else for running before me, and my amazing teammates for allowing me the opportunity to be a clown during my leg of the portion, because they gave me such a huge lead, and I appreciate you all.
All right. GG's, Papa Shongo. Way to go, man.
Yeah, thank you. It was GG's to DrinksGlue and Team Blue.
Yeah, so Team Red started out in the lead. Team Blue took it over about midway through, and then that Kefka at Narsh. Just, how did you feel about knowing that your progression was probably either Leet River or Kefka at Narsh?
Yeah, I knew I was down to what, Leet River, Burning House, and Kefka at Narsh, so I'm like, well, I'll do the one I can peek. And I'm glad it was it, because otherwise I had a tough decision in front of me. And yeah, it was a bit unfortunate, but at least kind of, it's not like I got extra Espers or anything, so it wasn't too terrible.
Yep. Okay, Dave, before I ask the big question, you got anything that you want to ask?
I think I'd seen something routing one. So this flag set in general, we did see you took that Yeti early. Is this someone you're happy to take in your party in this flag set?
Umaro is not the worst to have, especially in this kind of flag set where you generally end up just holding A, swinging swords anyways. So that's just one less person you have to hold A for. And his biggest issue in the standards flags is he can get you in trouble in Final Kefka, and with the scaled Kefka here and how powerful you are at the end, he's not really an issue. So, no, I don't mind seeing him. It's nice to be able to control a character, and get an Esper stat boosting or something like that. But no, I like getting Yeti in this one. Just one less person you got to worry about.
Yeah, for sure. I think Dave put it really well. He just holds A for you, so you don't even have to worry about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so the big question, the one that I've been asking everybody, with the Gamers Against Suicide, is there anything you want to share? And it's okay, totally, if you don't. How this has affected you personally, or what really motivates you to participate in this event?
Well, I like to participate in most events, but definitely ones that have good causes like this one, charity causes and awareness campaigns, things like that. I'm lucky in my life where it hasn't affected me or anyone I know, and so I'm blessed in that way. But I do know that it's a very serious issue that affects lots of people, and so anytime I can get a chance to help bring awareness or do anything, I like to do what I can.
Yep. Well said, well said. I'm kind of in the same boat as you. Is there any personal thing you want to plug? Anything that you want to share before we let you go and sign off for the night?
No, just anyone that was watching that's new to Worlds Collide. I'm sure it's already been plugged, but join our Discord. It's got lots of information in there. The wikis can tell you everything. Very versatile randomizer. We have all sorts of events, not just these kind of charity events. Standard race seeds with Ultros League, but what I enjoy a lot is the Living Seed. Is kind of its own animal. It starts with a base seed of whatever the current event is, and then everyone gets to change various flags every week, and it gets out of control very quickly. And we're in our last week of the current season this week. And you can join late. Anyone who wants to see what kind of craziness can come in, join in, and then we'll get ready for the Moogle Cup settings. I think is probably what we'll come up with, which is another event, new player event coming up. I'm sure has been talked about a few times already.
Mm-hmm. I have seen your infographics that you make for yourself for the Living Seed. Sometimes you have to have a magnifying glass to see all the different changes that people have made, and it is incredible.
Oh yeah, it's great to watch it grow. Where I can have giant text where you can really read everything from the first couple weeks to where I gotta really shrink it down and squeeze it all in there. It's a lot of fun.
Definitely. All right, Dave, do you have anything you want to add?
Let me think why just GG's to you, Papa Shongo, everyone who's run. Thank you for putting on this show for us.
Oh yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me, guys, and all the Restreamers and Sabre especially for being a part of the event and putting this on, and everyone for doing the comms. And yeah, it was a good time.
Awesome. Well, you have a great night, and thanks again. Sabre, I'm going to kick it off to you to close us down and say some ending remarks. Since you opened us, you get to close us out.
Alrighty, thank you for that. I want to thank everybody who participated in this event, this Gamers for Hope, Gamers Against Suicide event. This is one of two events they do. They also do a Gamers Against Cancer earlier on in the year, around March, I believe it was. So this is their second of their two events. This is our marathon run submission for that event. It is called the Super Bowl Relay Race. All this is for the American Foundation for Suicide, which was established in 1987 as a volunteer health organization that gives those affected by suicide a nationwide community empowered by research, education, advocacy to take action against this leading cause of death. I want to thank everybody for joining us this evening, Dweia and Engidave for commentating throughout the whole entire running an event. I also want to give a shout out to our runners as well with Jexvrok, Fitz, Shongo, Cerise, Cid, Warkin, Turdsman, and also Sigil and Mike also working in the background helping to set up this event as well. Once again, I'm Sabre Wolf. We'll be back again in August. The first weekend of August will be the actual event for the Gaming for Hope Gamers Against Suicide. We'll see when our schedule is. Once we know their scheduled date and time slot, we'll let you know on our Discord on the Worlds Collide. That's ff6worldscollide.com/Discord. Hope you have a very good night. Unfortunately, there's nobody else playing Worlds Collide right now. There's one person, but they're already on. I think they just beat Kefka now. So unfortunately, there's nobody to raid right now. So we are going to say very good night to all. Thank you.